Good morning, good morning. We're having a very singy-songy morning, actually. We've got Kat and Hannah singing. Of course, Wendy Orlando's in the building, therefore we're in very, very high spirits. We've got a brilliant show for you today. Starting with our early bird. Now, actually, do you know what? The guys have put the early... This isn't the early bird. The early bird's down here. But it's a surprise because it's back in stock. But before I even mention the early bird, look at what we've got back in stock as well. If you know, you know. I will come back to it. So, are we going to do it? Do you want to do it, Hannah? Come on, right, let's just do it. I think it's really important because we've got 1,000 units of these. And I actually think that they will all go. I never tell you how much we've got in stock. I would never normally say if we've got 1,000 units because you're probably thinking, oh, well, I've got months probably to get this then. No, we had 1,000 units once before. Liam and John Cole Morgan came in, sold out the whole of the stock. The whole of the stock. Kat and I, yeah, we came in really excited last week because we were told that we had wadding by the half metre and there were 6 units. We didn't even bring it to air. It sold out before we came on. So if you do want wadding by the half metre, it is officially back in stock and look at the price. Today, it's $6.99 a half metre, cut off a very, 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 very big bulk for you. So whatever sort of size you want, go for it, go for it, go for it. This is your 80/20 light and soft cotton mix wadding. How useful, how useful. Can I show you how much you get? Look at how much you get. No way is this one piece. This is $6.99. Right. It goes on and on and on and on and on. £6.99. We're singing again. We're just so excited that, one, we've got it here. Our Liam Dickens, who is a producer normally over on Jewellery Maker, he was here yesterday, and he's got sort of one up on Hannah at the moment, saying, yeah, well, I've had that cotton wadding by the half metre. Now we've got it, but I've got a feeling, this isn't an early bird, by the way, we're going to do the early bird next, but it's so exciting. So, just wanted to give you a heads up on that. We'll talk about it later. It's 80% cotton, 20% polyester. It is produced by Visaline. It's not like, you know, a random wadding. It's a very reputable brand of wadding. It's super, super soft, beautiful for lots of different quilting projects, and it's just going to be fabulous for your stash. The recommended distance between quilting, maximum 20 centimetres. It is needle punched as well, so it means that you're not going to get that loft coming through when you're quilting. Just £6.99 a half metre. It's so soft. It's beautiful. I know that Wendy will give you lots of different uses for it. She says she's always using wadding. In fact, if you're going to make her pan protectors later, her brand new pattern we're bringing to you, then this is going to be ideal for that as well. Oh, lovely folding, Vix. There we go. Throw it at you, Kat. Do you know what? I'm going to mention it so many times, so you're going to see it a lot. 150 units have already gone like that. So, starting off with 1,000, I still got a feeling, I'm going to do the maths, 850 units left. Right, I'll put it here. And shall we start the show, as we always do, with today's early bird special? Are you ready? I'm just going to go down to the cellar, because these, we've got 2 colourways. They are back in stock. Individual. Now, before I bring in our early bird special price, we had a bit of a look at how much you can pay for sewing machine bags. Now, Wendy said to me earlier, I'm always looking my sewing machine everywhere I go. She says, you obviously don't sew enough, Vix, because I take my sewing machine everywhere. If you do want to get yourself a really lovely, sturdy sewing machine bag, maybe you're starting to think about going off to, a caravan holiday or a second home, if you're off to the seaside, or maybe if you're going, to stay with a relative, or thinking about going to workshops and retreats, getting to know your sewing machines. Maybe if you just work upstairs or you want to bring your machine downstairs, it's handy to store it away in a nice bag. So we had a bit of a look at how much you can pay for quality sewing machine bags. We went to a very, very famous department store, one that we all will know, and one that will be in our local city centres. If you have a look online, you can find this one. Now, it's gorgeous. It's actually wipeable one. It's a wipeable material, which Ours is wipeable, but I think that one's more of an oilcloth, so it's got a lovely wipeable material. But in terms of size and shape and the pocket on the front, the Velcro strap, very similar indeed. It's £32. I think, if I'm honest, that's the sort of price point that I'm thinking when I think sewing machine bag. I've spent a lot of money on my machine. I want to get, you know, a nice quality sewing machine bag. That's a beautiful one, £32. We also found this one. Now, this is virtually the same, isn't it? I mean, ours has got scissors on. That one's got a spool. Very, very similar though. Oops, zooming in. Thanks for zooming in there on the spool, Cat. This one is live online today, and I would say, actually, do you know what? Brilliant price point. It's £21.60. Should we do the pink first? When I say pink, it's like a lovely purple. It's a great big size, great for any of your smaller machines like your 570A, those of you that have managed to get it, your 550, 560, 570A. It's $15.99. We only had this on air once before as an early bird, and it completely sold out within the hour. £15.99, and I love, look, you've got the little key ring with your scissors on there. You've got space in the front to be able to put all of your little notions, maybe your patterns or instructions, or keep your manual or any of your leads in there. It's got the feet on the bottom, so you're not clunking your machine down on the floor. It's also got your extra stability strap, your Velcro strap. It's a great size. I tell you what, if you are thinking of taking advantage of the offer that we have on the 570A, then this would fit in ideal. A lot of machines I know potentially come in for the 570A. I know a lot of people have over the last few days. Already today we've had people checking out this morning. But it comes with a hard cover, which is great to keep it inside. But if you are thinking of taking it on the move, you know, to a relative's house or to a craft fair, or if you're taking it to a retreat maybe. I know Angela was saying that she's starting up her classes in September, and she runs a Get to Know Your Machine class. So if you do want to start getting to know your sewing machine, then they're good classes to go to. Or just keeping it, you know, down the side of a sofa, or, you know, stored away in a cupboard. It's really nice to keep it nice and protected, lint free and protected. $15.99. I'm thinking it's a great colour. The only time that we've ever had another sewing machine bag, don't get me wrong, I like red. I do like red, but I know a lot of people, maybe big red bags aren't their cup of tea. This is more neutral, isn't it? If you're thinking of a gift for somebody, I'll be thinking, oh gosh, do they like a big red bag? I don't know. Whereas actually, this is going to be more neutral, isn't it? But I love that sort of piped edging as well. Bright purple, £15.99. We've got the turquoise. What colour is it, Kat? Turquoise. We've got turquoise up next. Okay. Turquoise. Blue. It's like the colour of your nails, isn't it? Having the purple and this colour. Our Kat's just had her nails done and they look gorgeous. They look beautiful. £15.99. This is your black and turquoise. So, right, in fact, I haven't told you the measurements for a reason, because I just had a flashback to where I really struggled before. Depth, width, height. Go for it. Height, I'm fine with. Your height is 32 centimetres. Width is 46. From here to here, I feel like I'm an air hostess. Here to here, 46. Your depth is 21 centimetres. Oh my word, I nailed that in one. Right, just in case you want to take those measurements down and have a bit of a measure of your machine, as these are extremely limited now. Today's early bird special, again, exactly the same as the other one before. You get your lovely little scissor key ring. You've got your space in the front for any of your patterns, or maybe any of your leads, your foot pedal or extension lead. £15.99. It's beautiful quality, really is. And it is wipeable still. It is wipeable, and I like the fact that it is in black. It travels well, but still with a nice bit of bright turquoise. £15.99. And those of you that are shopping already with us, whether you're buying the wadding, whether you're getting the machine, whether you are getting any of your early bird specials, remember, it's only one P&P with us today. So if you have bought something, then it's definitely worth staying with us, because we've got gorgeous Wendy. Always trouble when Wendy's here. She's flossing. She's flossing in the side. Well, trying to floss. Nearly flossing. We've got such an amazing show for you today. If you do want to get in touch with us, if you've got any questions for Wendy, we are going to be talking about foundation paper piecing today. We're also going to be talking about her pattern. So please do get in touch. It's studio@sewingstreet.com. Studio@sewingstreet.com. We want your interaction today. We want to keep it as interactive as possible. No, Wendy does something to me. I was just dancing around there with Wendy and Kat said, "Are you okay? Do you need the toilet? Are you okay?" No, we're just dancing around. We're very excited. Okay, Hannah's just said, this is going crazy. How are we already down to 600? Are you kidding? We've got 600 units. 400 units have already gone. Right, this is going to go a lot quicker than I anticipated. I was so excited about talking to you about this all day today, and I've got a feeling that it could sell out very soon. 400 units already gone. Remember, it is a great opportunity to get so much wadding. It's 244 centimetres wide. Wow. £6.99. And any offcuts that you sort of have of it, keep it, because it's always going to be really, really useful. Always going to be useful. 80% cotton, 20% polyester, Visaline, beautiful wadding, and it's so, so soft. It's going to be cut by the half metre. It's the first time, well, I say the first time. We'll ignore the fact when Liam had it, because that was just sort of like a pre-show thing, a warning for our show today. But they sold out of everything. As I say, it was really, really popular. But yeah, other than that, it's the first time that we've had it by the half metre. So it's definitely worth making the most of it whilst you can, to £6.99. It's gorgeous quality and a brilliant, brilliant price. What are we doing today with Wendy? Right, so we've got foundation paper piecing. Now, we've really thrown Wendy into the deep end since she's joined us back in March, was it? Back in March when Wendy first joined us, and she said, "I'm not a quilter, and I've been giving you all these quilt patterns." And honestly, she has dived in head first. And you look at what she's made, and it's just absolutely amazing. So you can see these cushions. They're foundation paper piece. Now, Wendy said it's the first time that she's ever done it, and she's completely addicted. Honestly, wait until you hear Wendy talking about foundation paper piecing. She's brilliant to actually get in touch with. If you do have any questions about it, please do get in touch. She is pulling faces at me going, "Oh, don't put me on the spot." But it is a great opportunity because she's new to it as well. It's good to talk to somebody who's looked at the book for the first time, who's quite overwhelmed by it, and then go, "Come on then, let's have a go at it," and got results like this. So, right, it comes from this beautiful book, which is New York Beauties and Flying Geese. You've got 10 dramatic quilts, 27 pillows, and 31 block patterns. So if you think about all of the different projects that you're going to make, I know Wendy loves sort of taking different techniques, different parts of different projects and combining them. So there's so much in here. You've got obviously all of your block index there. You've got some beautiful, beautiful projects, including today's, which are these. I think these are great. Almost this one, you could actually probably, I think they are great cushions, whether you're having them on your bed or on a statement chair, or even as like a little footstool, like a little poof on the floor. You've got so many different projects. Beautiful, beautiful pillows and cushions. We've also got quilts in here. We've got great instructions with lots of photographs for somebody who has never done foundation paper piecing before. I know that there's a lot of you who are absolute addicts to foundation paper piecing anyway, so you will love this book. But even if you've never tried it before, maybe it's always been the one that you've avoided, give it a go, give it a try. It's £15.99. We're going to dissect and break it down with Wendy this hour. This is your book, which is now limited. It's £15.99. Let's do the white first, because I think, like we're talking about the wadding, I think this is always going to be a great essential for your stash anyway. We've used it as the background colour here. Wendy's used it as the background colour. So depending on what, you know, we always have solids on the website. So depending on whatever colour your decor is, have a shop on the website and have a look. We've got creams, greys, pinks, whatever colour you want. Just thought we'd show you white, as I know, always very popular. This is the colour that Wendy's used for the background. $3.49. I do like, I must say, the stark white against the rainbow colours. It really makes it sing. It's beautiful. and it's only 349.5 metre. So for this project, depending on what size you're doing and how much white you want in your design, is up to you really. Normally I'd probably say, right, for this project you will need a metre of white, but it's actually up to you to design where you want your colours, and we're going to talk to Wendy more about that. So we've sort of done our bundles a bit differently today. Normally, as I say, we'd say, here's the kit, this is what you do, but I like the fact that you're in control of designing and creating. We'll give you all the tools that you need. We've got 2 of the panels that I'm going to show you at the moment. We've got 3 panels, but start with the vintage. 2 of these are beautiful. I must say, our exclusively designed panels are absolutely gorgeous. And I know whenever you get them home, it is just so exciting to see all of the different colours. These are beautiful. This is the first time I've seen this one. This is the one that you can see Wendy's made the larger cushion with. So you're getting a huge amount of fabric here. It's 140 wide. Bearing in mind, when you're normally looking at quilting weight fabric, it's 112 wide. So it's a great chance to get loads. Look, it's going off the desk. You can't even see the bottom of it, can you? Hang on. Let me shimmy it forward so you can see how long this is. It's still going. There is a lot of fabric there, and the colours and the patterns coordinate beautifully. I love the leaves in the grey, the blush pinks. I know you can't see that one. Here we go. There you go. Those leaves are beautiful. And, right, so let me show you the cushion. Using these greys, I think this is going to go with a lot of people's decor, don't you? I think there's a lot of people at home that will say, oh, that would look lovely in my living room. And using the strip of this lovely duck eggy blue, it's beautiful. Works really, really well. But then incorporating the pinks, there's going to be so much fabric left over by the looks of things. Right, so that's the vintage colourway. I'm going to whiz through the rest so we can get Wendy on. We've also got the other one that's the same strips as this, that are printed panels. This one, oh, it's quite contemporary, you know. This would look lovely in a workroom or an office or, again, living room. Look at these colours. Remember, you can just use sections of it. You don't use the whole panel. You'll have plenty left over to make other makes for your, I'm thinking for your workroom. Look at these colours are nice as well. Brand new to me. I've never seen these panels before, and they work so well. These geometric style prints, I know, are so in fashion, aren't they? See a lot of this sort of geometric print in lots of you next at home and John Lewis. All of the bonus, that sort of style. I love that at the moment. Hannah, you've really gotten me into that shop. Yeah. £14.99. What width are these strips, do you know? 9 inches wide. I think they're 9 inches. That's Wendy. 9 caterpillars wide. That's how Hannah measures things in caterpillars. Dearie me. Don't caterpillars sort of stretch in and out? They're like quite like this. I think you're in a bit of an Allison Wonderland kind of mood, aren't you? £14.99 for your Geo Bright. And then your Allison Glass. Allison Glass. We absolutely love this. We've always loved this. We've seen so many different projects. This is the great thing with Crafting World, is that you can be given a panel like this and everybody comes up with something completely different. I love the way that, that Wendy's used it. Let me show you next to the cushion. Smaller cushion, this is lovely. So, using it with your flying geese around the outside, and then the grey, obviously it's not just a grey, it's got all of those lovely patterns on as well. Sorry, the extension table's falling on me from the machine. £9.99 for your panel, and that is going to go an awfully long way as well. Remember, I mean, you're going to be able to absolutely make a few cushions, especially if you're teaming it with another colour, like your white. So many options with colours with this one, isn't there? That's gorgeous. Right, so we're just going to show you how you get involved. It's going to be a great day to buy today, whether you take advantage of the machine, whether you take advantage of the wadding offer, the early bird, or any of the kits today. Half the stock has gone. 500 units already checked out. That's so exciting. Right, if you do want it, make the most of it. This is how you buy. Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer, and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping. Oh, Wendy, it's so lovely to be back with you. I was only watching you last Friday and thought, are you only doing Fridays? I'm never going to see you.
I've got quite a few coming up, so I'm sure we'll be working again.
How are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Very good.
I've missed you.
Oh, I've missed you.
Yeah, we only met once, didn't we?
I know. And then John's been hogging you.
I know he has. I didn't think we would be able to work together again.
I know. I did hear about the naughtiness from last time. So, we're going to be very professional today, aren't we?
No.
We've got such a great skill to learn here because you've never done foundation paper piecing before, have you?
Never.
We keep throwing you in the deep end.
But that's what I say to them, just throw them at me, because the only way to learn is to do something different and to go out of your comfort zone. And that's what I did with this. But I looked at the book and it was like, I don't know what I'm doing. But just get a cup of tea and sit down and read it. And it's so simple when you actually have read it from front to back.
That's a really good sort of point to make, because it seems so obvious, but actually I almost sort of try instructions and just go through it as I'm going and then get myself in a mess. But if you read your pattern first,
and especially me being I've sewn for over 40 years, so I've done most things. I haven't done this, so it's very easy for me to go, I know what I'm doing, and just read it. Because it is, it's all set out in such a way that you have to go from one page to another and you have to keep referring back. But once you get used to the way the book's written, you'll have no problem.
So for anybody who's never done it before, what is foundation paper piecing? Because it's not the same as English paper piecing, is it?
It's literally, and if I just show you, I'm going to show you in more depth in a moment, but it's literally working from a chart.
Right.
And
it's like colouring in by numbers.
It is. Oh. It is. And you start, which page? So I've got it upside down. So you would start from 1. Yeah. And then you would sew 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you just carry on, and then you just create these wonderful arcs. And this one, these are arcs. I know that you can do it in all different, you can do straight ones, but this is specifically working in the round. And if you actually look in the book, the quilts, actually that's a good example, they're all made up of different squares, and then you can put the squares together how you choose. If you look in the back of the book, it shows you, and there's loads of blocks, all the different blocks. Right. And there's loads of them. I think there's 31 different blocks.
Amazing.
So literally what they've done is given you every single combination that you can have, because you start off with your quarter circle and then you work outwards. And with the white cushion, I didn't do the final round. So you don't have to do it as big as the grey one. You can do it. You could even just do a really tiny one with just the 2. Yeah, you just choose the block that you want to do, and then choose the elements in that block, and it is that simple. So I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna make up a segment of block 22 today.
Okay.
I don't know if Kat can see that. Yes, so I'm going to make up this one. And so it shows you everything. It shows you just doing your flying geese and a plain section, and then this one is just like the oblongs, and then you've got your quarter circle.
Brilliant.
So I'm not sure if we're going to have time to do it all.
Oh, we'll try and get as much as we can.
But we will try and get. But yes, that's literally what it is. Just getting pieces of fabric and piecing them together. And I I don't know why I haven't done this before, because I have got so many pieces of fabric that the little bits that you can't use that are tossed into a bin, a fabric bin that I keep. Yeah. So I am going to have a field day.
You said you want to make your own patterns.
I'm going to design my own now. This is just amazing.
We started off at a very
Delphine has got me on felting, because I've never done that before, and I love that. So I'm just so busy. There's not time to sleep, actually. There really isn't.
I think a lot of people agree. It is addictive, but it's so exciting. And
it is.
So when you were talking to kit team, trying to put together kits for this, you actually said, can we not sort of do kits for it and do it individually? Because it's completely up to you at home, isn't it? What combinations you want.
It really is a personal choice. So for this one, I didn't use a great deal of white apart from the back, because my logic is, why would you waste nice material on the back? But having said that, if I'd have had the time, because they are quite time consuming, I would have done the pink on the reverse. Yeah. Because this is, I've got loads of the pink. In fact, I didn't use any of the pink. Right. So I then, depending on how I felt, I would have just turned the cushion round. And then you change the look, especially if you've got a pale sofa. Yeah. Then you can just turn it round.
Yeah, that's a really
good idea. What I would have done, but I just use white because I didn't have enough time to make both sides. But yes, so that's why I didn't want it to be put in together as a kit, because then it's your decision. Right. Because especially in this one, you might wanted to put every other one white, so that you could save maybe the darker or the light grey. That's entirely up to you. So that's why we've done it. But if you can put it with black, you can put it with any colour you like. But white works particularly well.
Especially with the rainbow.
Especially with that, because it just makes it pop. I think black would work really well with that, but the white just makes it pop. And again, some people might think it's a little bit of a waste using this kind of panel on this project, because you are cutting it all up. But I've got, I've got quite a lot left
of the Allison glass, brilliant.
And if you're very careful how you cut, then you will have the circles left. So I think I've got 3 or 4 circles that I can then I would make an inner and make another round. Because round cushions, they look hard, they're really easy to make. Really? Really.
Oh, yes. Fab. Right, so let's get going with foundation paper piecing, because it is a technique that you need a bit of concentration with, don't you?
You do need to get your head around it. Okay. Have you tried it?
I've seen so many demos of it that I feel like I can master it, and then I've tried to do it and think, right, it's the whole sewing on the reverse of it.
It's getting it the right and the wrong way round.
So I'm excited to see how you do
it. I have used photocopier paper because I couldn't get it in time. It was rather a late project, so I didn't get it. I wish I'd had that.
Right, do you think that this would be more beneficial? It's like a lighter weight foundation. It's actually designed for foundation paper piecing, and you can use this in your machine printer. So don't try and use grease-proof paper or a different sort. The reason that I say that is because it's tried and tested. It don't work, does it?
I even put it against a piece of paper to carry it through the machine. Never ever try it, because it really doesn't work.
So Wendy said to us, well, does this go through your printer? And we're like, yeah, it's designed for foundation. You were like, brilliant, that's what I need then. Yeah, it does.
And the reason is because you'll see in a moment what the stitch I'm sewing. I sew a 1.5. Okay. Which means that the shorter your stitch length, the more times the needle goes up and down, which means the more times it pierces the paper.
I'm with you.
So it breaks it easier. Okay. But it's still quite difficult, whereas that, it would just probably fall away.
Yeah, this says it holds beautiful during stitching, but then tears away easily when you've done.
That's what I needed, but it is fine this way, but if I had it, I would have definitely used that.
No shrinking, curling, or turning brittle. You can use it in most of your inkjet or laser printers or copy machines, so should be fine. But do absolutely make the most of that whilst we've got it. We always love this. 100 sheets for £14.99.
That's a really good price as well.
Brilliant.
And the other thing I would say is I wouldn't want to ruin the book.
No, absolutely.
So what I did is it does go, we got one of the copy at the printers that lift the lid up. So I was able to put the book, to slide the pages in there. Just do it once. So take one photocopy of all the different stencils, all the different templates, and keep them in a master folder. That way you don't have to put your book back in it.
Yeah, because, good idea.
Otherwise you keep opening and closing. Yeah, so I would just do that, and what I've done, and then I would just photocopy as many as I need, because I will explain a bit about the book and then we will get onto the sewing, because I know that's what people want to do. you need, in some ways, like for C, you need 2 lots of C.
Okay.
Because what you're doing is you're creating 4 different sections for the cushion. So that's only half a section. So you would then put it against another C.
Yes, I can see exactly, yeah.
So it looks a bit, that's why it looks so complicated, but it isn't complicated. And I would leave, and I've pre-cut them here, I would leave, even go past the seam allowance. Okay. Yeah, because the dotted line is the seam allowance, but I would cut even further than that, because what happens if your material has done a little bit of a jiggle and wiggle as you're sewing, then at least you know if you're cutting along that line, then it's going to be absolutely spot on.
Brilliant.
Because again, if you're putting a piece against a piece against a piece, each time you're a millimetre out, it's going to be a lot out at the end. So the first thing, I probably don't need to show you how to do this one because it is that simple. Okay. You literally lay that down on a piece of fabric. So that one's, lay it down on a piece of fabric, and personally I would just glue it down, or you can pin it in place. If you pin things, it tends to lift up a little bit and not quite be as accurate, so I would just glue it, and then I would...
Are you putting that onto the right side of your fabric?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Okay, it doesn't matter. No.
Yeah, because if you fold these in half, they're symmetrical, so it really doesn't matter if you do. I would put it on. I'll do it right for you, Vix.
I'm learning from you, Wendy.
Because you actually don't want to put glue on the right side, because it is good because it doesn't show. And then all I would do is just put a little bit of glue, and this time I would cut on the seam allowance side, because these do have to be exact.
Okay.
The paper piecing one, you'll see in a minute, we don't, but if you're cutting anything out that is a single fabric template, cut to the seam allowance. Okay. But that I don't need to show you that, because that's really, really easy. So the first thing, which would you rather me do? Would you rather me do the flying geese, or because I don't think...
Oh yeah, let's do flying geese, because I don't think I've seen that. It seems more difficult, especially with the curve.
This is really easy, and if you can master the flying geese, then you're definitely going to be able to do that.
Let's jump to flying geese.
Right. So I've cut out one of my flying geese, and again in here I'm making block 22, and it tells you exactly, there we go, it tells me that I need a J3, arc D, M and arc C.
Brilliant.
So I've got all those prepared, but we're going to go with arc C, and this again you can see it's made into 2 pieces because we needed 8 and we've only got 4.
Okay.
Now this is where it gets slightly complicated, and this is probably what puts a lot of people off, is how you start the first piece. Now I have pre-cut these already, because again I don't think you want to see me cutting them, but in the book it explains what you need for each arc.
Brilliant.
So
it explains all your cutting
C, we need to create squares. I think they were 4-inch squares, don't correct me, but I think they were, and then you cut them across the diagonal.
Yeah.
If you want to put some of the spray on just to stabilise it a bit slightly, because you will be working along this edge,
bit of best press.
I didn't, but I think that would be a really, especially if you're a beginner. Yeah. I would definitely do that. But I'm quite used to working with the fabrics and that, so.
Good idea, especially if it is cut a little bit on the bias.
Definitely, because you don't want to waste any, you want to cut all of it, so you're going to be cutting in all different angles. So the first thing you want to do is just get your head around it, and the printed side is the side you're going to be sewing on. So if you think about it, that you can't see the line, so how can I see where I'm sewing? Yeah. So you'll be sewing on the printed side, but we place the pieces on the back side. Okay. Now the first one is the only one that goes the right side up. And I don't know if you can actually pick that up here.
Can you actually see it?
You can. Yes, but I don't think you're going to be able to pick it up. I don't even know if I can.
But it's good that you know. At home can you can see through.
So,
and with you.
Yes, it would be much better using the other paper. But I want to put the piece just below that line, because again at the end I'm going to cut it, so I want to make sure that it's exact. And just for the first piece, I would put. I don't know if these are in stock.
I think they are.
Right, these are brilliant.
Back in stock.
Oh, that's good. I did have to wait for them, and I bought quite a few.
I was going to say, they are like gold dust. Yeah. When they come in, they just disappear, so.
Yeah, I bought quite a few. So I just put a little bit of glue down there, and then I put right side and I'm just going to put it so that it's just over that line, and I need to make sure that the fabric goes past that because I'm doing C1 at the moment, so I need to know that it goes past that, and that's the only one that goes that way up. And this is where it gets a little bit confusing because now I'm going to turn it over, and I haven't sewn C1 because I don't need to because it's the first one, but I'm now going to sew C2. Now, to do that, I need to prepare that seam with 1/4 inch.
Okay.
And this is where it gets, people sometimes think it's a bit complicated. It really isn't. Just get yourself a piece of card, or I tell you what's really good, those little, the student cards, the flash cards, they're really good for that. And then you lay it across, so we don't need to do one, we're going to go line 2, just lay it across. Actually,
you know when you add a quarter ruler?
Yeah,
I think it's got like a tapered side.
Oh yes, you'll be blown away when you see that. So I'm going to use that in a minute.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll do it along. I'm doing this because it's probably easier for you to see. And you line it up, and then we fold upwards because we want to crease along that seam. Okay. So I'm left-handed, so I turn it round. So we crease up. And now all we're going to do is prepare this piece of fabric with 1/4 inch seam. So these rulers, and did you say they're out of stock?
No, they are available.
They are available. These rulers are brilliant because if I push it, you'll hear it in a minute pop down. I don't know if you heard that, it pops down. So that is my 1/4 inch.
Right,
so
it's got that little lip on it.
And I can't pull it away now because it's stuck against, because the card is just millimetres, it stops it. So I'm just going to cut and prepare that seam.
Oh, you're right, they're out of stock. You know our stock better than anybody.
Sorry. Sorry.
Don't you? I must say, Wendy, you are literally like the biggest fan of the show as well. Wendy watches it all the time.
I've got it in the background. Yeah, I've got that in the background. I always got it in the background. So it's not scary. All you're doing is creating the 1/4 inch seam.
Okay.
If you didn't do that part, it's not the end of the world, but it would look really, really, really messy. Okay. So we're just preparing it. So now we want to flip it back over again because it's all about flipping with this. And we're doing number 2. So we then put the next right side down. This white, you can't tell, but it's right. It doesn't really matter if you do it right or if you don't. We put it right side down. Now, if you want to, you can pin. I don't pin. So you just pick it up, take it over to your machine, and then we're going to be sewing along that line that we've just folded.
Okay.
So when I'm sewing, and I've done it all ways because I've had a play, I have to find out how things work and do it the best way. I start just outside the seam allowance.
Right.
And then when I finish sewing, I sew just a little bit over that centre line. And what that does, it secures, when I then come to do that line, it's secured it. So that's what I'm going to do. And you don't need to worry about what foot you've got because you're sewing on the line now.
Do I need to change my stitch length?
That's just, good job you reminded that. I did mention it, didn't I? I just haven't done. I did mention it, but I just haven't done it. The smaller the stitch length, the more perforations it's going to make along the paper. Yeah. So the easier it's going to be to rip afterwards, and you'll have a really, really closed seam, which is what you want. So I would take it down to 1.6, 1.5. Right. So thank you for reminding me, Vicky. And I'm just going to reverse stitch at the front, and I'm trying to sew as much as I can on the line. And then I just go a little bit past it. Go a little bit past it because when I do that line, I want that to be enclosed.
See? Perfect.
That's it. That is it, Vix. Oh. That's all you do. So we now turn it over and we want to iron. That back. So I would start in the centre and work outwards because you don't want to be tempted to iron these back. We're just interested in that centre seam. And then we start the process.
The next.
Again.
Right,
so
it's now
we turn it over.
C3.
Oh, you see.
I
expect to see you making a cushion now. Yeah, so so we now fold C3 up. And because I've gone over that centre a little bit, it's pulled the paper. So just pull your stitches down and release the paper, that's fine. And then we put our ruler. I can't wait for them to come back in stock. And we cut along there. And remember, we're just preparing it with that 1/4 inch. And then we turn it back over again. and lay the next one on. And I've made a few of these, so I actually know what I'm doing, but it's a good idea to mark these with what colour you want. So I'm doing pink and white. So, or what you could do is if you're doing like a rainbow one, if you're doing reds and yellows and greens, just put the colour, just
good idea,
so that you know where you're doing. But I promise you, once you get into the rhythm, you know what you're doing. So we do exactly the same. We line that line up, and I'm lining it so it's central. Turn it over, and now I'm going to sew down line 3. See how quickly it comes together, though. It really does. And I haven't used this machine before, and it's a dream. It's
nice machine, isn't it? This is our one, by the way, that came in literally about 3 days ago, and they're nearly sold out. It's absolutely brilliant.
It's very smooth, and it cuts the thread off when you put the bobbin in, which is really good. You don't have to pull it through.
That's good.
You just pop it in and pull it off. It's really good. Sorry, you want to?
Yeah.
So now we've done the next one. So we just and press as you go. I always press. Personally, I wouldn't. Although I love the little mini roller, I wouldn't use it for this particular one because you want to press rather than push.
Okay.
But you can if you want to, that's fine.
I know you love the mini roller, don't you?
Oh, I love that mini roller.
How many did you buy yesterday? I got a few yesterday.
No, I got the few of the... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, not a few rollers.
We're not allowed to tell anyone that the early birds sometimes are on there if you go on there.
I didn't say it.
There was 3 early birds on there,
You revealed the secret.
Sorry.
Did you?
There was 3 early birds, not 3 rollers.
3 separate early birds. Somebody's not taking them off the website.
But grab them. Well, they're going to now, but grab them while you can because there was 3 of them on there. So now I've sewn that again. So now that I want to go for the next line. So you can see how it's progressing and it's coming along. So I now know, I'm making a big mess here, I do apologise, Vicky. Now I know that I look on here and I'm doing my centre one again.
Which is a pink one.
Yes. So the first thing I want to do is prepare. I'm going to prepare my line. So remember, each time you're just preparing the seam before you sew it. Always open your template back up and then place the next one along. And remember, what you're making sure is that when you do it, it actually covers the shape. It's quite hard to see this because it is paper.
Yeah, with your foundation paper, it's really
so much easier.
But you can actually see, if you're using a photocopy paper, just use like the cheapest, thinnest one, really.
That's perfect. Don't use an expensive one, a thick one, because it really needs to be the thinnest. How are we doing for time? Are you okay for time?
10 minutes. Oh, they're both like, oh, God. 10 minutes.
I'm being too tidy today now. Right, so we've now got that centre, and that's how they grow. So for the next one, I would do white, then white. So I don't know if you want me to carry on doing that, if you want me to show you the next part.
Yeah, go on, let's see the next part.
Right.
We're getting the hang of that, and don't forget, remember, if you do get a bit, one for a better word, discombobulated with it when you get home.
That's a big word. It's a big word.
Big word for 8 o'clock in the morning. If you do want to watch back on YouTube, I would definitely jot down today's date, because I must say that is probably the clearest demonstration I've seen.
It's very, very easy. Just the hardest thing first is you're thinking, why am I putting the material on that side?
Okay.
So start on the wrong side from the lowest number,
Brilliant.
but then you sew on the other side.
Thank you.
So I wanted to just show a little bit about the quarter circles. Sorry, the circles, not necessarily the quarter circles.
So on the cushion, where does that fall?
Right. This one here, let me see, has got 4 centre circles. So I made each one of these as a quarter. Mm-hmm. So I did this arc, then that arc, then that arc, and then put them all together. And then I put the next one and the next one and the next one. So that meant that I've got a centre circle that's got 4 different circles in it.
Right.
But with the white one, I did just the complete circle.
Yeah.
And that's brilliant how you do that, because what you do is you back it with a fusible wadding, and then you turn it inside out and stick it into the middle, and then just sew around it to secure it. That one, I wanted to show you both ways. I probably... Are you all right over there?
Sorry, I'm trying to do the nice cushions display again. You keep doing it really nicely because it's round there. Go.
but that's not going to stay. That's not going to stay. Yeah, so I wanted to show you both ways, but it's probably personally easier to actually make this and then put the centre one on, because then you can hide any of the centre, whereas that one you do have to be really on point with your seams. Right. So I would do it this way. And it also gave me a chance to use one of those circles. But that fabric is really lovely. You just have to be a little bit careful when you cut, because you want to make sure that you get all the colour, because the ones around the edge, I've got all different colours.
Lovely.
But that was really, really pretty. Beautiful. So with these, you need to, again, like we did with the arc, you would cut around the line. So you'd lay it down on your fabric and say put a little bit of glue, wrong side then, because then you won't ruin it. And then you would cut along the seam line and join them together. The geese and the others are the only ones that you actually leave that seam allowance.
Just so you know, the book is really, really popular. We've seen this book a couple of times actually, but it is by far the most popular it's ever been. And
it's brilliant.
Do you know these templates? Are they to size? You don't need to upscale them or anything. No,
they
literally just photocopy them as they are.
That's what I love. I mean, I obviously design and I obviously write things, and I like to make it so that it's in its simplest form. Yeah. Whoever has written that, the guy that's written this, it's brilliant. I'd say there's a little bit of toing and froing. Because it's quite complex, he then sends you back to another page, but it's all there for you. And especially it tells you in, this one is a new one, it's not like the one I have. So yeah, it will tell you everything. So for all the different arcs, it will tell you exactly what you need to cut. And then you can just count how many you need on each of them. Right. And then at the back, as I say, it gives you all the blocks. Oh, now, brilliant. Personally, I would like to make a quilt out of every single one of these blocks, because... But some of them are going to be rather time-consuming, especially block one. Are you converted? Would you now say you're a quilter? Absolutely. I love that. Yeah. But I like quick projects. Yeah. This wasn't really quick. No. But if you enjoy something, it doesn't matter how long it takes. But again, as I always say, it's a project that you can cut everything out one night, and then you can get sewing the next night. Sometimes if you're doing it all in one, it gets a little bit laborious. Whereas that's what I did. I cut them all out one night and then I sewed them the next. Brilliant. But like block one is 3 sets of flying geese. Be in my element doing that. But you do have to be a little bit careful. You have to be, get smaller and smaller, don't they? Yeah. So you do have to be a little bit careful when you're doing them, because you want to make sure your intersections match when you're doing that. So actually, I'm going to cut out and show you how to put them together, because you'll see. Do you think when you're starting, you'll start with some of the larger pieces instead of trying to go for the smaller? The one that I was, block 22 is brilliant. To start with, yeah. So block 23 has just got the quarter circle and a plain arc of plain paper and just those. Yeah. Yeah. So I would start doing that one. Did you want me just to show you how to do the we've got about 6 minutes. Oh, okay. Right, that's okay. That's fine. We will do that. If I can find my template for it. Right, so we can do, let's do E. No, let's do D, that's smaller. Right, so this one is, you don't have to worry about the geese at all. It's just simply putting pieces of fabric. And I've pre-cut the fabric. It gives you the measurements in the instructions. It does. All of it. So you'll just go to the page and it tells you what D is. And they look bigger than you need them. They are quite a bit bigger. But that allows you a wiggle room, because you do need to have wiggle room. But you would be able to, as you get better and better and better at it, which I will, because I'm going to be doing this all the time now, your gauge, you'll be able to know how small you can go, and then that means you will be able to use all your pieces in your stash. So again, the first thing I just explained, because as I say, it's a little bit hard to get your head around. You go for the lowest number. So we start with the lowest number, and all that means is the sequence. 1, 2, 3 means the sequence, and the D tells you what actual arc it is. So we turn it over, and then we get a piece of glue, and we just glue the first segment. As I say, all we're doing is stabilising, and then we want the fabric the right side up. Right. So we turn it over, and I'm just checking that I've gone below that line. And then we turn it over again, and we want to place your piece of card and score it. because remember, all we're doing is, and I'm going to use the little one now because I don't know if you know it comes in 2 sizes. So this is perfect. This is all we're doing is preparing your seam. So don't think of it too technically. That's all I'm doing is preparing a 1/4 inch seam, ready to then put my next piece of fabric on. And with the rectangular ones, you're just making sure that when it does fold back, that it is covering that shape.
Yeah.
But I promise you, if you get the other paper, you will be able to see much, much better.
Yeah.
And then you turn it over, and then we're going to be sewing down that line.
We really struggle, by the way, to get this foundation paper in stock. So whilst it's here available, I know that you couldn't get hold of this. Could you?
I couldn't find it anywhere, actually. So
we've got it today.
Yes,
we have got it today. It's $14.99. It's literally just come in, and it is absolutely brilliant for foundation paper piecing because you can print your patterns onto it in your printer, and it's really easy to tear out, but it also is easy to sew through as well.
That's what you need, both of them.
Yeah.
But if you keep your stitch length short, then it's more perforations per inch and it'll be easier to rip. So we've done the first one, so we're just iron that seam out. And this time you don't have to be quite so careful because it's a continual straight line, whereas with the Flying Geese you had the flappy bits at the end. And then you do exactly the same. You turn it over, and we just want to prepare that seam. So we get our piece of cardboard and fold it back. And you can get quite a system going. Once you get into the swing of it, you can do these really quickly. But why should you? Why would you rush sewing? I just love sewing.
Exactly.
And then that's all I'm doing. I'm just doing the next one, right sides together. One day I'll actually show you something that you can see the right sides on both. I'm always using material that looks the same to both sides.
Book, by the way, nearly sold out.
Ooh.
There are now less than 15 books. Less than 15 books.
I'm not surprised. It's so much fun. So that's how you would just do this. This for a beginner is brilliant because the Flying Geese look a bit scary. They're not scary because how easy was that? Did I make that look?
Absolutely.
But this is even simpler because you're just literally sewing rectangles together but on an arc.
Right, so then how do you take your paper out? Because you don't leave it in, do you?
You don't, absolutely not. There we are. I have heard people say to dampen it.
Okay.
I wouldn't, because you're going to stretch the material, and because you're then sewing bits together and you do need to be your seams to be on point.
How far do you go until you take them out? Do you do
the whole strip.
Okay.
Do the whole strip, and then before you take the paper out, it's really, really important, you then cut around your...
To your dotted line?
Yes.
Okay.
Because don't take it out first, because otherwise it's not going to be sharp. And as I say, the reason we do go a little bit over is just so that now when I cut that is going to be, if I just show you here, I'll just cut this along this line here.
Do I also need to know that is arc C? Do I need to write on a little bit of pen that that's C? Are they all going to go together? I promise you that once you start doing it, it will just fall into place because it won't fit anywhere else. What I would do is I would just, in front of me, would write down what I need to make what I'm making, and then there is no way, that's only going to fit in one place. Yeah. So, but this one is, if you can see on here, it says a part 1 of 2. Right. So you do need to sew it. So you can see now that is absolutely sharp, that edge, whereas if I'd have butted it up to it and it was a maybe, then it's not going to be. So yeah, cut it out first, and once you've cut it out, then you just tease it away. Oh, literally just peels away.
But I would do, it is a little bit time consuming because I would do one at a time, and there's probably people out there that have done this for years and years and years and go, no, that's not. Yeah. But it works.
Could I do that when the whole thing's complete?
I wouldn't. Okay. No, I wouldn't, because you want to now press it. You want everything pressed and sharp, ready to put together. So
good tip.
If you want to, then you can, but that's what I would do, and I do just do one at a time. And as I say, because you have done a really short seam,
it's like when you get paisley, it just peels apart.
So I'm not going to take any more off because I probably will mix up later, because I think this one is going to be really pretty. Yeah. And I did only use the the grey strips and a little bit over half the green for the outside.
So you've still got loads left.
So
over
I've
from
still
that
got
panel.
the whole pink.
Brilliant.
So I could make a pink one, but then I probably would just have a little bit more for the green because the green.
Yeah, oh, that would look beautiful as well to have a pink one to match. You should carry on with that one, definitely.
I'm definitely going to finish making that.
Love
I'm definitely going to.
Thank you ever so much. That was a really, really good in-depth demonstration that I would jot down today's date.
I do hope I can do it again because then I can show you actually how to turn it into a curtain.
A curtain would be
like.
great.
Curtain would be lovely.
That's going to be your pattern, isn't it? Foundation paper piece curtains. You heard it here first.
Can you imagine that?
Go on, do it.
No. A little caravan curtain, that would be all right. But then I can show you because, again, that technique is so simple to do that.
Oh, brilliant.
Really
it's
simple.
so effective, isn't it? And I suppose you get such precision and accuracy that you wouldn't necessarily get in any other way.
No. And I know you were saying earlier about turn that into a puff. I would definitely do a really deep side and have that as a puff.
Amazing. Thank you. You're off. We're taking the sewing machine with you and doing
I
some sewing in the break.
I'm stealing it in the break and then I'll bring it back.
We'll see you in an hour with your pattern. Very exciting. Right, I'm going to have a quick roundup. We'll see you after this. Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping. Right, we've got single figures left of the book. It's such a clear demonstration, and for somebody, of course, who is, a novice, this is someone who's never done foundation paper piecing before and has read the book so clearly. It's brilliant. Do make the most of it. You're getting 10 quilts, 27 pillows, and 37 block patterns. It is about to sell out, so those of you that want to make the most of it, absolutely do. So that's just £15.99. All of those projects, they will look beautiful in so many of the fabrics and a great stash buster when you get the hang of it. So that's just £15.99. Right. Let's do paper because there were so many people who have been asking to get this in stock for a long time. Third of the stock has gone today. It's literally only just come back into stock. Always very popular whenever we get it in. You get 100 sheets. You can use it with a majority of inkjet printers, and it will mean that you don't get shrinking, curling. It won't turn brittle. It holds beautifully during stitching, but then tears away easily. Remember to reduce your stitch length, but it is ideal because you're going to be able to see the lines through on the other side of instead of using your printer paper. Make the most of that whilst you can. Great value for money. Have a look on the website. We're not going to do all the solid colours, but there's so many different solid colours on the website, and the panels that Wendy was using are ideal for projects like this. But brilliant value for money for how much fabric you're getting. So definitely have a look on the web shop and see. Book has officially sold out. Well done if you got it. I can't wait to see all of your foundation paper piecing projects on the Facebook fan page. Absolutely. Also, just a quick reminder, wadding. I will talk about it in the next hour. Do not go anywhere. We have got so much still to come, all coming out right after this. If you'd like to get in touch with us during our live show and send in any messages or any questions, then you can do it on studio@sewingstreet.com. Alternatively, you can message us on our official Facebook page.
To see me back. My favourite piece of kit with the sewing is the seam ripper. Hello, I'm Janice from Birmingham. I specialise in dressmaking. I used to run a children's shop and I love making children's clothes. My mother encouraged me to sew from an early age. When we were young, we did dressmaking in the school. My claim to fame was the sewing quarter, but I'm now making also jumpsuits for ladies and men of all shapes and sizes, and it seems to be going for the festivals around the country. See you on the show!
Hi, I'm Rosie Wells.
My name's Poppy and I'm a nutritional therapist.
Hi, I'm Ruth Lynette and I can't wait to join you all on the brand new Gemporia Lifestyle channel.
If you're a fan of primal living, you're going to adore what's around the corner.
What is lifestyle? Lifestyle is healthy habits.
Feeling good, it's about looking great,
Making sure that we're taking good care of ourselves inside.
and it's about the life that you lead and the home that you live in.
All of this is why I'm so excited.
We've got the most wonderful team.
Homeware deals and primal deals under one roof on one channel.
I can't wait to share this brand new channel with you. So we'll see you soon on Gemporia Lifestyle.
Gemporia Lifestyle, coming soon to Freeview Channel 74 and gemporia.com.
Hello there, I'm Debbie Shaw and I would love you to join me on the first Monday of every single month for Sewing Street Surgery. Now this is a dedicated hour where I answer your questions, and that could be questions about techniques, it could be questions about tools, it could be questions about new products, or maybe something that you've seen that you just don't understand. There's a lot of questions about tensions on sewing machines, and there's a lot of questions about working with different weights of fabrics. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask me, the easiest way to bring a question over to us is to go to our Facebook page and post your question on there. I will collate all of those questions throughout the week. If we need any new products for you, or if we need any new demonstrations, those will all be worked on leading up to that first Monday of the month. So do join me, Debbie Shaw, on Sewing Street Surgery on the first Monday.
Christmas is going to be here before we know it, and as with every year, we want to make sure that we get our makes ready in time for gifting on the big day or for decorations in the lead up. We're here to help with our Christmas make shows, starting with our 3-day event on Friday the 31st of July until Sunday the 2nd of August, and we'll be live for 5 hours each day too. Expect lots of festival quilting, FPP, dressmaking and needle felting to make all your decorations, advent calendars, cushion covers and so much more. We'll have our expert tutorials from some of our favourite guest designers and a fabulous competition exclusively for our Sewing Street family. Keep your eyes peeled on our email newsletter, Facebook and Instagram for more details in the run-up. And don't forget to tune in from 8 AM to 1 PM on Friday the 31st of July until Sunday the 2nd of August on Freeview Channel 74, Sky 670 or on our YouTube channel.
If you love sewing, then you need the UK's favourite sewing magazine. Every month, you'll receive exclusive patterns. Follow simple step-by-step guides suitable for all skill levels to make your own stunning clothes, accessories and more, together with inspiring tips and tricks from industry experts. Join in and discover your love for sewing. Try Love Sewing today and get your first 3 issues for just £6.
Welcome back. We have had a brilliant hour. That was so good, learning foundation paper piecing. I'm expecting everyone to have a go at that now. I will. I absolutely will. I think that was very, very clear. Oh, well, I can't have a go at that book because it's sold out, but there might be, is there any other foundation paper piecing books on the website? I think there are some books on our web shop that have got foundation paper piecing in. It's definitely worth having a look through and seeing what you can get, and we'll wait until that one's back in stock, which is exciting. Right, so this hour we've got so much to talk about. First of all, I was a bit premature with this one because I should have actually waited till this hour, but I knew that eagle eyes would have spotted it on the website, so I wanted to make sure it was fair for everybody. let's treat it like it's not actually been on air yet. We started with 1,000 units of this. We're down to 409 to be exact, 409 units. Now, when I say units, I mean this is going to be cut to whatever size you want. So it's sold by the half metre. Now, half a metre is huge. It is a lot. You're going to get all of this for $6.99. It's your 80-20, 80% cotton, 20% polyester mix. And it's so super soft. It's beautiful. If you are doing lots of quilting, maybe you've done lots of quilt tops and you've got unfinished projects that need quilting. Today, this isn't just any old wadding, it's Visaline product, it's beautiful quality, it's very, very soft indeed, and it is ridiculously affordable today. £6, 19.5 metre. That is why hundreds and hundreds of you have checked out in the last hour. Thank you so much for your patience, by the way, over the last few weeks whilst we've been trying to get it back into stock. A lot of people have been asking when we can do it. If you missed that one show, I mean, it was one day that it was here and it was gone. So we're really, really lucky to have it back. Hannah's not even seen it yet. She hasn't even had a look in. She says, obviously, I've seen it this morning, but this is the first day that we've managed to do it. She said everyone's been teasing her, saying, oh, did you hear about that wadding show? Did you hear about the wadding? We've had wadding by the half metre. Because even those of us that have worked together for years before, never seen wadding sold by the half metre before, have we? And I must say, it's absolutely beautiful quality. So it's, as I say, it is a Visaline product. It isn't something that's just any old wadding. It's really beautiful quality. I'm thinking if you're doing any free motion, if you're doing any quilting projects, whether it be the quilt that we had yesterday. I know that Sally Ann Harrison was actually saying even for wall hangings, she likes to use an 80-20. She likes to use an 80-20 because of its weight. It is obviously heavier than a polyester. It hangs beautifully. So if you do want to get that beautiful drape, if you want something to sit on a bed or on I would use this on as something to keep me nice and warm. This is brilliant. £6.99, you know, like a nice quilt for on the sofa. Because as well, what's it called? Pre-punched is the technical term. It's already been pre-punched, which basically means it's kind of compressed. So it's not going... Oh, I've got to tell Hannah's joke. She went, it means you don't need to get annoyed with it because it's already been pre-punched. Not that if you're angry, you should punch your wadding. But it means that when you're quilting with it, sometimes you can see that loft sort of coming through. So if you're working with darker backgrounds, it is not going to sort of bleed through, which is brilliant. It's already pre-punched. Now, I would have a look into, I know a lot of people are saying to wash or not to wash. That is the question. They do actually advise to wash this, and you tend to wash your wadding if I'm not mistaken. I know a lot of people do it differently, but could you just chuck it in the washing machine, or would you do it in the bath and just soak it? Different methods, isn't there? Let me know your preference. Let me know your tips on how you wash your wadding. On the description for this one on the Visaline website, it's listed that they recommend soaking the wadding, soaking the batting in hot water for 20 minutes. Please do not wring when wet, only squeeze gently, allowed to dry flat. Amazing. Thank you for that, Hannah. £6.99. If you want to go to the Visaline website for more information about it, you can. But it does suggest that your stitch, it does suggest to stitch between, did it say 20 centimetres? Maximum apart, 20 centimetres maximum, which is about 8 inches, isn't it? So you could do, oh, wow, quite minimal quilting with it, really. If you're quite new to it as well, don't feel that you have to heavily quilt this. £6.99, half metre. Right, can I just show you? Half a metre, if you just get one half metre, literally just half a metre, that is £6.99. It's 244 centimetres. Remember, you're only paying 1p&p, and it will be cut off the bolt for you, though. So if you are buying anything else today, why not just add half a metre to your basket? Have a go of quilting. Well, over half the stock of today's has gone. Way over half the stock for today's quantity has gone. It's just £6.99. £5.99. Brilliant, brilliant value. And yeah, I've got a feeling that all 1,000 units could sell before midday today. So have a quick think about it, but don't wait too long because that will be very, very popular. I know John Cole Morgan absolutely loves this. I wouldn't be surprised if he's there at home getting lots of units because it's always useful. If you're a quilter, you're always going to use it, aren't you? And even if you're doing smaller projects, any offcuts that you have, don't get rid of them. Keep them. Smaller pieces, or if you've got any of the tape that you can sort of bind them together, baste them together, it's beautifully soft. So right, that's £6.99. I will come back to that. I'm going to be talking about it all morning until it sells out. Just a quick message from Poppy. Hello, Poppy. Oh, I know those yellow rulers that we used in the last hour. We do love those add-a quarter rulers. They're actually out of stock at the moment. Poppy, we'll let you know when they come back into stock. Keep your eyes peeled on the web shop because they're always on reorder. But at the moment, they are out of stock. Now, I must say, Wendy Orlando has run off with my foot pedal and my electric cable for this. So we'll talk about it in detail. But I'll be able to turn the machine on in the last hour and talk to you about it more. But I can't not mention the deal that we have, the deal that we have right now. So this is the 570A. It's absolutely brilliant. So when we launched this machine, right at the start of Sewing Street, actually, when we first launched the channel, we got a bit sort of carried away with this, if I'm honest, and every single one of them sold out very, very quickly. And we've only just literally in the last 3 days managed to get more stock. And I think that is going to go very, very soon too. It's £599, which I don't understand because elsewhere I've seen this machine for $699. And if I'm being honest, for an Elna machine, when you're looking at, the brand and the warranty that you get with it, you get 2-year warranty, and all of the extra features that you have on this, I absolutely understand why it's £699. Today, here, the last 3 days, we've been saying it's $599 with extra goodies as well. So you're getting nearly £40 worth of beautiful fabric. You've got your spot, you've got your gingham, and you've got your snips. Plus, you've also got some extra bobbins which work along with this machine. Do you know me and Elna are under the same umbrella. They're sister brands, so they work together. Now, what I love about this machine is that I've always been a huge fan of the 570. This is the upgraded version. This is the 570A. Offer is only until stocks last, by the way, which are running fine. I know that yesterday I came off air saying there were less than 10, so please do have a think about it. Now, when you're looking at this machine, first of all, of course, it probably looks very similar to machines you've seen in the past, like the 550. 550's got 50 stitches. 560 has got 100 stitches. Both brilliant machines. I wouldn't call them entry-level machines because they're Elna. They're a really, really great build. But this one has got a whopping 380 stitches. So you have all your utility stitches, a great selection of buttonholes. You've got loads of decorative stitches and satin stitches. You've got quilting stitches on here. You've also got these beautiful appliques stitches and hearts. You've got so many different decorative stitches. If you want to start doing... It's not an embroidery machine, but you can do so many different beautiful combinations because this machine also has a memory. So if you're starting to link up any of these, like a spool, you've got scissors, if you're starting to link up any of these designs and to do yourself a border, if you click the memory button, you can start to put together a bit of a sequence. It also, a new addition to the 570A is the fact that it's got an extra 2 modes. So if you click through the mode, you'll see mode 1 and mode 2. There's mode 1, mode 2 is here, where is mode 3? It's in your instruction manual. Let me show you. So if you go to the back of your manual, you will see that it's got your stitch chart. Do keep hold of this because it's brilliant to be able to refer back to. So you've also got an alphabet. This is what I love. Those of you that want to personalise things, if you enjoy making your own quilt labels, if you want to make t-shirts with somebody's name on, or wedding favours, or just personalising gifts, then you've got numbers, you can do dates, you can do birthdays, all sorts. You've then also got 2 different alphabets And you've also got these lovely little icons, look, a little musical note, star, a heart, these are your spaces. Obviously you've got all of your decorative stitches as well. So that's a really good point to remember, that this is a brand new machine for Elna. It's the 570A with the alphabet. They haven't just given us an alphabet though with this new machine. It's also got some real favourites from all of our sort of higher spec machines. So normally when you're spending about £1,000 when you're buying a machine from Elna, I will always ask guest designers what they love about the machines, and this is always one of their favourite things, the thread cutter. For the first time, I think, ever, a machine that's this sort of price point from Elna with these features and functions, which are normally the ones that would send the price point up. So you've got a thread cutter. You've also got a memory button for your thread cutter. So you can do your sequence. Obviously, remember, you've got your normal memory to put together your stitch combinations. And then if at the end of the sequence you want to do a locking stitch and then cut your thread, you can simply press that button. It will highlight on the screen that it's activated, and it will cut your thread at the end of every sequence. Don't get me wrong, you might not want that all the time. If you're doing things like gathering stitches, you want to leave a longer tail, you won't need that. But that is going to save thread, save time. It's just amazing. So many people say that is a brilliant, brilliant feature. So you've got all of your different modes, as I say. You've also got the C button, which again I love because you can just go back to the start with it. You've got your memory of your snippers, your thread cutters. You've then also got your speed dial button with your straight stitch, your zigzag, your over edge. You've also got your buttonhole. You can change from the default stitch width and stitch length. Don't get me wrong, what I love about this machine is that it does the hard work for you. You program a stitch, it moves the needle over to where it needs to be. If you have to change your foot, because it comes with an array of feet as well, which I'll go through in a second, it'll tell you what foot you need to use. If you want to override the recommended stitch width or stitch length, you can do here. So even though it's got 380 stitches, some of these satin stitches and different stitches here look completely different when you elongate them. You can just go crazy with designing new stitches. You've then also got these arrows here which navigate through all of your stitches. You've got your speed control. So if you like Wendy Orlando and you like a bit of speedy sewing, look, she's got that on full speed. But if you slow it down, if you want to do any pivoting, if you've got any intricate sleeves, if you're learning to sew, sometimes I forget to breathe and I forget that I'm in control of the speed and I'm just going for it. Whereas actually it's really nice to, during your sewing, whilst you're sewing, you can take control of that speed and slow it down. Thread cutter, as I mentioned. Needle up, down. This is something we take for granted. But remember, the amount of times that you'd have to hand crank, every single time that you stop stitching to reposition thing, you'd have to hand crank. You can just set it that your needle stays down at the end of your stitch sequence. You've got your locking stitch, your reverse stitch, stop, start. So you can use this with or without a foot pedal. It's got a thread cutter. Wendy was saying it's a great bobbin, top-loading bobbin, but also it cuts the thread for you on your bobbin. You can just put that in and get sewing, which is brilliant, useful, and it's portable. So I think this is for somebody that potentially has been doing lots of sewing over the last few months, lockdown. Maybe you've dusted off an old machine or you borrowed somebody else's machine and they now want it back. And you're thinking, right, I do want to invest in a good machine that's going to last the test of time, that is a reputable brand, that I get a 2-year warranty, but without, you know, something that is going to need a dedicated sewing space. This is something that you absolutely can store away. It comes with a lovely hard case. And of course, I would take advantage of the early bird special as well to get your nice soft case to take to your workshops. It comes with an extension table. So if you are doing ruler work, if you're doing any dressmaking or quilting, we had Barb messaging yesterday, one of our lovely ladies who was saying, is this machine suitable for doing quilting on? Absolutely. You've got a great array of stitches on there. You've got your extension table as well. This comes free. And your extension table has got these legs that sort of slot up and down, and you can just simply slot your extension table in. Really easy, and that will straight away give you lots more bed space to be able to do your quilting, to be able to do dressmaking. If you have got the space, I would just keep that on all the time. So that's your extension table that comes with it. It also comes with lots of different feet. So in the storage box in the front here, it tells you, don't worry, if you are new to a lot of these feet, don't worry, it will tell you which stitches you need them. So you've got your buttonhole foot. You've then also got your, that's your 1/4 inch foot. So if you're starting out patchwork and quilting, this will be your best friend. It's really nice. It's got that little sort of guard on the side that will mark your 1/4 inch. All of them have got letters on. So this one is called your A foot, which is your standard foot. It will come on your machine when you get it. There's a little A. You can't quite see it, but it does have an A there. This then is your blind hem foot. So you're going to be able to do some real professional sewing. You know when you're turning up trousers and you buy them from the shops and you can't see the stitches on the hem? That's using a blind hem foot. You've also got, let's see what we've got in here. Oh, we've got a zipper foot. Bag makers, dressmakers. I like the fact that with this machine, especially if you're a fan of Sewing Street, you'll probably want to try a bit of everything. And that's what Wendy Orlando loves, is just, you know, I'm going to have a bit of a go at this. I'm going to have a go at this. Throw anything at me and I'll have a go. This is the machine that Hannah has an older equivalent of. And Hannah said, I didn't get any of these things with it. So I think it's brilliant. She loves her machine. She's always grown up with a mum's sewing machine, so she knew she wanted one. It was about 30 years old. She let her take it to her house with her. Obviously, started sewing a bit more and started here. Always had a machine in the house. She said it started to sound like a traction engine. It just sounded like a real big farmer's truck. So it was past the point of just getting it fixed. It was probably, and you'd probably outgrown it as well. You wanted a computerised machine, and it's a machine that's going to last maybe another 30 years and pass down to next generations as well. And I don't mean, you know, if you don't have thousands of pounds, it's absolutely fine. Hannah says, I do a lot of hand sewing. So, in fact, you prefer hand sewing, but you do still want a machine. Do you know, I know a lot of people. She said for her that this was the perfect next sort of upgrade, but Hannah's didn't come with an extension table and half of these feet. It was the same price point as this, but it was an older equivalent. Doesn't have anywhere near the stitches either. Sorry, Hannah, to shame your machine. Doesn't have a thread cutting button. Now we're listing on the things that it doesn't have. But what I was also going to say, when I talk about people who are probably going to invest in this, I also know people who have already got the higher spec machines and maybe have got a second home or want to do some sewing in a different location, maybe take to a relative's, but you don't want the real basic machines because you're so used to your higher spec one. So this is really portable. You don't just want something that rattles and shakes. Maybe you're going to stay with a relative or you're going to a caravan or a holiday home and you want to take sewing with you. This is a lot more sort of portable. You also get this, which is your over edge foot. So you do get some really, really fancy feet with it as well. One for a better term, fancy feet. Some machine needles, your quick unpick, you got a little lint brush, you get some spool holders. Remember, today you're getting extra bobbins, snips and fabric. I could honestly spend the whole hour talking about this machine, and I really hope that you have a serious think about it. If you've got any questions about it, please will you let me know, because if I can tell you, I will. If I can't tell you, I'll find out. So please do let me know. We did measure the throat space yesterday, and I think it was 7 inches from the needle to here and 11 inches from the end of the machine to the side of the throat space. So don't get me wrong, it's not as big as the 680 throat space, but it still has a lot of room to be able to do larger projects. So yeah, make the most of the deal that we have at the moment. The deal is only whilst stocks last. And I've got a feeling, I know we've all been talking about this the last 3 days, but it's because it's always very, very popular. It's the latest edition from Elna. This isn't just the 570, which I know so many have always loved. It's got so many new additions, which is brilliant. And remember, we found it elsewhere for £699 today. In fact, 2 places, $699. It's not something I normally do, is sit and compare prices. But I think when you do actually realise, do you know what? We've got that amazing relationship with Elna. You do get your 2-year warranty. Jane, of course, who is the sales rep for Elna, she's a huge sort of friend of all of ours, so it's brilliant to be able to bring you these deals, and it's really nice and lightweight. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to jump around your table. It's still got that robust build that you expect from Elna, but absolutely, if it comes to dinner time and I'm sewing on my dining room table, there comes a point where Kieran, my husband, always says, come on, please will you put the sewing machine away? I want to sit at the dinner table instead of eating on our lap every night. So yeah, with this would be brilliant to be easy to sort of pack away. It's just £599. I understand it's still considered, but in the world of Elna with all of these features and functions, I think it's a brilliant opportunity. Okay, right, let's come back to that in a bit. The sewing machine bag, that was the early bird today. We've got 2 different colours. I'm going to start with the purple. I've got the turquoise as well. It's been very, very popular today. If you do get any, I know we got distracted by the wadding earlier on. If you do want to make the most of the early bird special today, it's £15.99. Very practical, great to be able to start thinking about workshops potentially. Because thinking about it, you know, sometimes when you go to your workshops and they provide sewing machines, with the world as it is today, you're probably going to need to take your own, aren't you? I don't know. Obviously, I understand that it's not a reason to buy a sewing machine. It's not a deal breaker, but something worth considering. I know that Angela Presley says that she's, fingers crossed, going to be starting her workshops in September. So it's great to have a machine bag that you can take to relatives if you're going to stay there, or you can take your machine to workshops or to retreats when they start up again. Be brilliant. So I like this one as well because it's a nice practical colour for transporting around. It's a really lovely quality fabric. It's really lovely quality. It's got little feet on the bottom. So obviously you've got your expensive machine in there. You want to protect it. So if you do put it on the floor, it's not going to clunk on the bottom of your machine. You've got extra pocket, lots of space in there for your foot pedal and your different leads and maybe your instructions or patterns that you've got, any notions, and plenty of space. Now the measurements for this, I don't know whether you've got them to hand, Hannah. You also get a nice little key ring. How cute is that? You could put that on your rotary cutter or on your scissors or something, couldn't you? So that you know that they are yours. And it's a beautiful quality purple lining. So we've got in 2 different colours, as I say. We've got purple and we've got turquoise. We're both the same sizes. So if you're ready with a pen and paper, I will tell you your measurements so you can measure your machine. The height of this, from here to here, is 32 centimetres. The width is 46 centimetres and the depth is 21 centimetres. The depth is 21. £15.99 is today's early bird. We've also got, I say early birds, we've got 2 early birds today. We are spoiled. 2 early birds and a wadding. Tell you what, we are jammy dodgers, aren't we? Oh no, I just heard an influx of, oh, I love a jammy dodger. I know jammy dodger for ages. Oh, jammy dodgers. Weren't you dressed up as a jammy dodger? How? When? Have you got photographic evidence? Hannah once went to a fancy dress party as a jammy dodger. You made a full conscious. Do you know, I really would love to do, I might open it up on the Sewing Street fan page, like, if you made any costumes for fancy dress parties and what's the strangest one you've done? Right, so your friend's done a Rubik's Cube, you've done a jammy dodger. Do you know what I did? For my friend, she was, her name was Abby and everyone had to dress as something beginning with the letter A. I dressed as the A5. I did like a long thing and I put all the toy cars on me with my face here. I did lines. Thank you. I thought, right, everyone's going to be an angel or they're going to be an alien or they're going to be, you know. I thought, right, we lived near the A5. You know, the A5 is a really nice straight road. You don't have to do all the curves and everything. Has anyone got any weirder ones than ours, please? Make us feel less weird. £15.99. We're just creative. I was born for this creative world. £15.99. I totally forgot about that until you told me. Someone also came as an Asda carrier bag and made their costume out of Asda bags. Other supermarkets available, but I can't think of... Oh, yeah, I can think of another one beginning with A. Could have done all sorts. £15.99. Aldi. Ocado as well. Ocado, there you go. I've named 3. Oh, Ocado begins with an O, doesn't it? Argos. Thank you for pulling me up on that. Okay, right, let's back to the early bird, please. Do you remember? These bags are jinxed for me. Last time I aired these was another early bird special. It was the last time they were in, by the way, and this is the first time we've got them back in stock, more importantly. But the first time that we had them in, I completely messed up my height, depth and width and, yeah, looked silly. And now I think that avocado begins with an A. It's because I'm thinking of avocado, I think. Don't try and make me feel better. She's like, yeah, I can see what happened. You're the worst at spelling, Hannah. So, and your machine hasn't got a thread cutter. We're now getting nasty, catty. So you've got your turquoise colourway, the 15.99. I can't tell you the insult she's giving me now. Not totally appropriate. I like the way that the zip goes all the way down as well. It is designed especially for your sewing machine, nice and sturdy. Just £15.99, which is your early bird special price. This is the new version. Right, I wonder what's different in here then, because this is the compendium of quilting know-how. We'll have to go through all the techniques and compare which ones are new, because this is now the 350 plus. So, I mean, Susan Briscoe, those of you that have met Susan before, whether it be at workshops or whether it be on air here, there's always so much information. There is always so much knowledge. I mean, I must say that Susan Briscoe is a fountain of knowledge, especially when it comes to Japanese techniques. This is Japanese folded patchwork. You're going to have beautiful sash going here. You've got loads. Oh, here we go. The book sold out earlier on. This is foundation paper piecing. So there's no projects, but this is the technique. So if you want to learn how to do, look. If you want to learn how to do some more foundation paper piece techniques, brilliant. There you go. So you've got foundation paper piecing in here. We've got string patchwork, improve your speed piecing, squares and rectangles, fussy cutting, kaleidoscopic. So all of your cutting skills at the start, it talks about, you know, planning. This whole section here is about planning, which is brilliant, isn't it? So thinking about what tools you're using, thinking about cutting, thinking about what fabrics you're using and what's going to be useful, what's more of a gadget to use, planning your box, your block patterns, designing with traditional fabrics, working with prints and patterns. There are so many different ways of just getting yourself a bit prepared before you actually start cutting. Actually, this is kind of classed as prep really as well, isn't it? So you're cutting, different techniques, you've got patchwork, we've got a plique in here, inserting seams and miters. Oh, spotted a Y seam, £12.99. Are you talking about me? Are you talking about me? This is your Hawaiian applique, embellishments, crazy patchwork. Oh, there we go. Let's have a look at wadding. Remember, £6.99, your 80/20. So let's see what Susan says about your wadding. What does Susan say? I'm just having a look to see, right, choosing waddings before you start quilting. How are you going to make quilts? Some waddings are suitable for hand quilting only, some are suitable for machine quilting. Now the wadding that we've got today is ideal for machine quilting. Would you say hand quilting as well, Hannah? Yeah? You can hand quilt with it. So cotton and polyester will be easier to wash than wool and silk. Which usually needs to be dry cleaned, so this is great to chuck in the wash, the one that we've got. Do you want a warm quilt? Do you? So this is a great book if you want to have a bit of a dissect of what waddings you're using. And because ours is like this natural colour, wadding is available in natural, which is the cream, bleached white, and also available in black, which is very good for dark coloured quilts. But I think this natural is going to be great for, it's always the most popular because it's going to be great for all different, all different projects, all different fabrics. Making your quilt sandwich if you've made the most of that £6.99 wadding available, why not get the book as well, and you'll get some brilliant tips on the quilt sandwich and quilting. Because don't get me wrong, a lot of great books will talk to you about the quilt tops And they will talk to you a bit about quilting and binding, but I feel like that's where you sort of lose a lot of knowledge, and you almost, it's that you presume you know how to do it. So what I like about this book is that no matter sort of what level you're at, you're going to be able to learn something new, you're going to be able to learn something really well as well. So I love that. You've then also got in here machine quilting and hand quilting. What are we doing, Kat? Long arm quilting, quilt as you go, Sashko. See, this is where you're going to get fabulous knowledge as well from Sashko. Hand stitching, hand quilting, corded quilting, trapunto. You know how much I love trapunto. That's very true. Binding and finishing, applying lapped binding. Hannah just said, and it's so funny because I was actually thinking it, I really like saying trapunto. I do love the technique. I love it. I think it looks really impactful when you get this three-dimensional. But I think it's more that I love saying it. I just like that word. It reminds me of, oh gosh, Pinocchio. That is so weird. Maybe you've told me this before. You know his friend. What's his name? Will you message in and let me know Pinocchio's friend? Because I don't think his name is Trapunto, but Hannah seems to think it is. So yeah, message in. That's so strange. We are literally in sync. We've been working together too long. I didn't have a dream about Phil Mitchell though. No, we're not that in sync, Hannah. Oh my word. Right, that's for another day. Hannah's quote about Phil Mitchell. I'll let her tell you that next time she's on air. Next time Hannah's on air, please message in and say, right, tell us your dream about Phil Mitchell, because I would like her to explain that on television. Labelling your quilt. If you've got your new machine, great to get a book to be able to dissect different projects and to be able to use the different feet for things, but also labelling your quilt. Now you've got the alphabet on the 570A. Do some labelling. Okay, if I go through all of it, you're not going to buy it. So I can't go through it page by page, but there's a lot of info in there, so I'm going to move on. Allison glass panel that we launched earlier on. Well, I say launch. We've seen it a few times. There's now less than 20 of these. We saw it with Wendy in the last hour. This is lovely. Oh, more stock available then. And by the way, it's a panel. So if you do multi-barn it, it will come literally like this, already pre-cut. But I just love all of these colours, the patterns. It looked amazing in the cushion that Wendy made. But you can use it for loads of things. If we were to try and get down all of the different things that we've made using this panel, it would fill our set. We've made so many different great projects with it. I know Delphine. It's okay because she now knows that we do that. We don't just do it in secret. I did tell her. Delphine's used this a few times. Sorry, we can't stop singing Jolene whenever we say Delphine. Delphine, I'm so sorry. I know you'll be watching. I'm sorry. It's a great name. We love Delphine. I remember when I said to Paul, oh, we've got a lady called Delphine. She's the new guest designer coming in. It's like, I love that name. Never heard anybody called Delphine. But we can't help but sing Jolene as well. Okay. But have a look at the detail and the sort of ombre, the rainbow of colour that you're getting. All of these. I love the butterflies and the flowers, the detail in the background as well. Just £9.99. So you saw, you did see Wendy using these little lining mats, and I must say, you know, if you're pressing, which Wendy was saying, it's a really, really important process in all sorts of crafting and sewing. We press a lot more than you actually think. I must say, when I first started, I didn't really get it. I thought, really? Is it going to make that much of a difference ironing at every seam? It really, really does. And sometimes it is ironing at every single seam. If you're doing something like your foundation paper piecing, you don't need a huge ironing board. You might not need a massive mat. Just having a little board like this that you can quickly manoeuvre around. For on air, it's a dream because it doesn't take up much time for Wendy to, you know, quickly get it out and just press with it. What I love about this as well, this is your spotty one, by the way. We've got two different colours. So you've got your pressing mat. If you do want a larger size, yeah, the spine bends back. You're not going to damage the spine. It will open back and you've got that double area. This is all a nice padded one that you can also actually pin into. So if you're making bias binding or if you're making anything that you want to pin to it, it is really lovely and cushioned as well. So you can pin into that. Lovely indeed. It's not just that though. At $14.99, you're also getting a cutting mat. Brilliant to be able to set up your little station, your cutting, you can then press, you can then do your sewing, really nice and quickly and easily. We put this the other day in as an essential. We put our sloth one in as the essential. But if you're not, into sloths, as I know, not everyone is like us. But the nice spotty one's nice and easy. You've then also got this section. Now you can't feel it, although if you press your green button now, you can reach in and touch it. Can you imagine if that was a feature? I think that's going to be the future. Press your green button now and reach in and touch your vision. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think I would potentially like that, no. I think I might feel a bit vulnerable, but anyway, each their own. So, would I see the hands coming in? Today is taking a strange turn. I think it's Wendy, she has this effect on us when she comes in the morning, doesn't she? Right, would touching telly work? No, but right, the reason that I say this, by the way, is because it's basically a velour. It's like a suede fabric, which you can use as your design wall. So your fabric is going to adhere to that. So that's very, 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 very useful indeed. And then we've also got this side here, which is sandpaper. So your sandpaper, you think, how is that going to be useful for when I'm crafting? If you're doing if you're doing foundation paper piecing, actually, this is going to be great because your pieces, when you're scoring and when you're cutting, when you're marking out, it is going to not slip and slide all over your surface. So if you aren't making any markings on your fabric, obviously it is going to adhere to the sandpaper. Really useful. It's a great gift idea for somebody. I know John Cole Morgan loves this as well. And it's great as well to be taken on the move. If you are lugging around your sewing machine, as I know Wendy does everywhere, she just said to me, Vic, I take my sewing machine everywhere with me. But maybe you don't want to then be taking your cutting mat, your ironing board, this is me taking everything under my arms, by the way. This is my ironing board, my cutting mat, my design wall, all of this under me. So they're really into this touch telly, by the way, in my ear. £14.99. So Hannah's saying, I'm only watching things with Idris Elba. Oh, yeah. That's it. Touch TV is going to be great. Should we do this one? Same price, just a different... Everyone knows exactly the kind of person that Hannah is. £14.99. It's 30 by 24 centimetres, 30 by 24 centimetres, $14.99. Once again, you've got your cushion pressing mat on both sides, opens out. You've also got your sandpaper piece. You've also got your lovely, I'll touch it for you, don't worry, lovely soft velour. And you've got your cutting mat as well for £14.99. £14.99. Yeah, I'm ready to move on. Yeah, please can you just stop talking to me, Hannah? She's making me laugh today, my word. Right, let's get Wendy back. We need some more professionalism when Wendy comes back, please. So, I've just got a bit of fabric from our little tub, our stash. It's a nice colour, actually, isn't it? What colour's that, Kat? Kat knows all of the colours of our solids. That's not Copen, peacock. I think it is, you're right, I think it is peacock. So, now I had a bit of a dilemma with this morning. You know that I'm left-handed, but I actually cut right-handed. But I thought, oh, hang on, which way do I use this? Whereas actually you can use it both if you are left-handed or right-handed. The great thing about it, those of you that are potentially a bit wary of using rotary cutters, if you struggle to cut in a straight line, if you've got any sort of grip or dexterity issues, this is going to be brilliant because all you don't need to be muscle man, just a little bit of pressure onto your 45mm rotary blade, and that is completely encased in there. So you can see, whilst it's like this, it's completely safe. The blade is not exposed. As soon as I apply pressure, that is when you're going to get the cut. And it is a standard 45mm rotary blade, so easy to replace. Now, what I love about this is that it is 2-in-1. You also get your ruler. So if you are going to do, right, which way am I? I'm going to be right-handed today. If you're right-handed, I'll show you left-handed as well. If you want to do, let's have a look, 3-inch, let's go 3-inch. You can line it up. There's plenty of markings all of the way through the ruler. You can line it up. Mine's not a very straight edge, but I'm just going to go for it anyway for time because I know we're running out of time. But if you at home have got a nice straight edge, line it up. You can line it up with the bottom line, and then this part will mean that your rotary blade will start further along. Apply a bit of pressure and simply cut like a guillotine. It's going to cut straight. You can then just pull it away. So there's your perfect 3-inch strip. When you're working with Fiskars, you know that you've got that absolute quality. My one side wasn't very straight. If you are left-handed, spin my fabric round, just simply turn, yeah, it is as easy as that, turn the rule around, and you can obviously do it from the other side. So let's go for 2 inches this time. If I want to do a 2-inch strip, you've also got different angles. So once you've got your strips, you can obviously subcut, and you could obviously do squares, you can do triangles, and you'll be able to do diamonds and triangles and all sorts with it. So again, if you do want to come back, it is safer than if you would never do that with a rotary cutter. But remember, it does have that sort of lock-in safety catch at the end. Did I still do it with my right hand? I'm so used to it, I think, but at this point, oh no, I need to turn it round. How have I got so confused with that? You can do it if you're left or right-handed. We did it, you've bamboozled me. Oh, literally, that was supposed to be for my left hand. I would go this way and hold my ruler, and then this side, it would be with my right hand. I would cut with my right hand that way. That makes sense. Thank you for bamboozling me. So then you've got perfect strips each time, whether you're left or right-handed. With me, it is just whatever happens on the day. Whatever Hannah instructs me to do. So £64.99. I know it sounds an investment, and don't get me wrong, it is, but how much will you pay for, a good quality ruler, and how much do you pay for a really good quality Fiskars rotary cutter? So you've got that all in one for just £64.99, and it will last the test of time if you look after it. We've also got some Fiskars no-touch blade changing tool. So obviously, even when your rotary blades are blunt, so very loosely, they're not cutting through your fabric as you want them to, they're still extremely sharp, and obviously you've got to be very, very careful changing your blades, and also you've also got to be careful, of course, disposing of them. The great thing about this is it can be used with any of your 45mm Fiskars rotary cutters. You can also use it with the combo ruler and cutter that we've just seen. The value for money on this is fantastic. You're getting 5 45mm blades in there and your tool. So even just for the tool, that is, I think, a fantastic price. You know that you can obviously store them in there. It is going to be really nice and safe, rather than having to touch anything at all. You'll be able to do this hands-free. I'm not going to go into it, but there is great demonstrations online. There's lots of videos of how to use it. So it is a really, really great product. No touch blade changing tool. You get 5 of your great quality Fiskars blades, which, don't quote me on this, but I actually think you're more beneficial to buy this than if you were to buy Fiskars rotary blades. I was talking to Karen, who is a representative for Fiskars, about this, and she said, honestly, it's worth just getting that. For 5 blades, how much would that normally cost you at Fiskars? So it is brilliant, really worth you are. £24.99. Let's go for another book. I'm going to come around the other side because I'm not going to be able to reach it. It's all right. Oh, I've ruined your display. Cat balancing 2 books. We've got saucepans for the next hour. Can you see them poking out? So this is your sensational quilts for scrap lovers. We were talking about this in the last show. We have a stash together of fabrics that have been used for different projects that we definitely want to be able to use again. They're big enough to use again. Even some of your smallest pieces you'll be able to use with this book. So you've got 11 projects. Price per project is brilliant, but if you're anything like Wendy Orlando, you can mix and match and make your own patterns, make smaller projects, bigger projects. Obviously, these are all quilts, but you could make them into cushions. Oh, that one's nice. These are all of your sort of quilt contents. There's loads here talking about the sizes that you're going to use and why they're so brilliant, using odd shapes and bias edges. It will talk to you about that. So you've got really clear instructions. Very, very clear photographs. Systems of colour selection for scrap quilts, because that's what I always think. Look, I've got all of these scraps. Are they going to work together? They're all in a bit of a jumble, and don't get me wrong, I love a random, but you've got there's random, and then there's hang on, that's just a bit of a mess. There's tasteful, isn't it? There's random, and then there's right, that works. So it talks to you about complementary and split complementary, adjacent colours, monochrome colours as well, and it's also got the colour wheel in there. So it will talk you through how to select the right fabrics from your stash. Talking about piecing curves. Oh my word, this is exciting because a lot of people I know avoid curves. John Cole Morgan, he won't mind me saying that. He says it all the time. Oh, I'm still scared of curves. This is brilliant. You've got loads of beautiful quilts here. You've also got your quilt assembly and how it's assembled into different strips and rows. This looks beautiful, doesn't it? True North. You've also got, oh, gorgeous. Lovely rainbow colours again. Your split screens. You've also got precious metal. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? With all the different tones of grey. We've had so many different fabrics here that I just can't, maybe, you know, tiny scraps of Tudor or tiny scraps of Liberty that you just can't throw it away. Why would you just throw it away? You absolutely should just get out of throwing anything away, really, and try and make another use for it. Use everything that we can. And I truly believe that, especially when you're looking at some of your beautiful favourite fabrics. Sleepy Tiny Teepee Town. Look how cute that is. Sleepy Tiny Teepee Town. I love it. My favourite, though, I must say, is, oh, that's nice, the knit stitch. My favourite, oh, that looks really cool with the, my favourite is, I'm getting there. Oh, it's in a different book. I'm only joking. No, it is that one. Sunrise, sunset. I love this. So even if you don't have enough scraps to do a 77 by 80.5 inch scrap quilt, if you've got sort of colours that you're thinking, why not add some solid, like you can see here, the white, and then focusing on your quilting. Beautiful circular quilting on this. It's amazing. But I love that edging. That's really cool. And you could adopt that style and use that on different quilts. They look brilliant, don't they? Favourite piece. Just £23.99. It's the first time I've seen that book. Really, really like it. Yeah? Really like that. Right. I know a lot of people, you know, who want to display their quilts, whether it be that you've made it, it's a special quilt that's been passed down to you, whether it be a quilt that you're gifting to somebody and they don't know how to look after it potentially. If you are thinking of gifting a quilt, or if you're after a gift for somebody that you know has got lots of quilts and should display them up on the walls, these are brilliant because you're not going to be pinning, you're not going to be clipping, you're not going to be ruining any of your precious, beautiful, what will be, I would say, probably much loved quilts in the future. You want to preserve them. So, if you want to change your quilts seasonally, this is a really cool invention as well. So they just look like little blocks of wood. They're not. They also have a marble. It's a really cool contraption. The marble, the way that it will work, will wedge between your fabric. It's not going to damage it. It's not going to pull it. It's just going to hold it in place. So obviously you've got your little fixings that you can put that onto your wall. By all means, paint them, decorate them to whatever colour you want to. But these are brilliant to be able to hang any of your quilts. We often use them here. And yeah, they're always extremely popular. Your neutral coloured quilt hangers for £10.99. There are certain quilts, Kat and I were talking about this yesterday, there are certain quilts that, don't get me wrong, look beautiful on a bed or a sofa, but the quilt that we had yesterday, the fraction quilt, which we've actually got in the roundup show at 11, if you missed yesterday's show, or it's on the replay as well today, it would look brilliant on the wall. It would look so gorgeous on the wall. So I would definitely get yourself some of these if you've bought anything already. If you've paid your post and packaging, you might as well add those in. Okay, spent so much time on them, spent a lot of money on them. You don't want to be, ruining them when you're displaying them or hiding them away. Okay, it's all right. I don't know whether we have time. Right, we've got time to do literally a couple more things. Shall we do the quilter's tape? Because I think this has just become recently back into stock. We tried to look for the double-sided one the other day, didn't we? Okay, so let me show you them both because it's slightly confusing. They look quite similar on the website. This one is single-sided, this one is double-sided. Let's start with the double-sided. This has recently become back into stock. Who was it that wanted some of this the other day and we said we didn't have any in stock? It was for, I don't know whether it was necessarily for quilters. I know a lot of bag makers use this. If you're inserting zips into things, oh, that's it. Faye wanted it for putting in a concealed zip into her dress. This is ideal for that. I know lots of people call it magic tape. So this is your wash away quilters tape. And the great thing about it is that it is a transparent adhesive tape. It completely disappears when you wash it. You can sew through it without fear. It's not like using a double-sided sticky tape because it won't gum up your needle. It's brilliant for quilting. You could use it for hemming. I suppose you could use it for binding, to hold trims in place. You could use it to hold your applique in place while stitching. If you're working with any difficult fabrics that you can't pin, for example, like your PU or your leather, for bag makers especially, this is going to be ideal. Use on washable fabrics because obviously you need to wash it away. £6.99. I suppose it's not going to be the end of the world if you leave it in, is it? But it's double-sided, so it literally looks like a double-sided sticky tape. You peel off your paper, but it is designed for sewers. On there, you get 10 metres. We also have the quilting tape. Now, this is different, as this is single-sided. So this is a great width. It's 1/4 of an inch. So if you're marking your 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, if you're new, this is going to be ideal. Look, it's £1.99. Oh, right. If you've bought the wadding, if you've bought anything else, just buy this because that is going to be so invaluable if you're stitching straight lined, if you want to mark your crosshatch on quilts and sew. It is brilliant. Suggested ways to use it for dressmaking as well on the reverse. But at £1.99, there's no point us sitting on air talking about it, but I wanted to let you know that it's in stock. If you've bought anything, it might not be something that you're only coming in to buy this today, but if you've already paid £3.95 for your postage and packaging, it's definitely worth adding these to your basket. Now, we're going to go and find Wendy. She's off sewing somewhere. We're going to bring her back and see her brand new pattern. We all have pots and pans, and I don't think use enough pot protectors. If you use a pot protector, message in. We want to hear from you. We're going to be having a look at her brand new pattern right after this. Would you like to take part in our weekly competition? If you do, then all you have to do is head to the Sewing Street fan page group on Facebook. Post your picture of your make. Myself, Debbie Shaw, and John Cole Morgan love looking at all of your makes every week. We pick our favourite and announce the winner every Friday live on the show. Happy sewing and good luck.
Hello, I'm Kerry from Living in Loveliness and I'm delighted to be part of the Sewing Street team. I'm based in Wolverhampton and I absolutely love working with fabulous fabrics. In particular, I love working with fat quarters and showing you how to get the most from your scraps. I love bringing communities of sewists together and encouraging people to sew for greater causes. Most recently, we have been sewing for our NHS and key workers. I look forward to bringing you hints, tips and techniques. I'll see you soon.
If you'd like to get in touch with us during our live show and send in any messages or any questions, then you can do it on studio@sewingstreet.com. Alternatively, you can message us on our official Facebook page.
Hello everyone, I'm Delphine Brooks. It's so great to be here and part of the Sewing Street family. I'm local, I'm only down the road in Warwickshire. I started sewing many years ago when I was very young, doing lots of art and painting, and eventually I went into textiles and I really enjoyed doing the two together. I then had a bit of a break. Something you don't know about me maybe is that I spent many years in the Royal Air Force and eventually in the police as well. And then I went full circle and I've come back to my happy place of sewing, and which I really enjoy. My best sewing tip is measure twice and cut once. I have chipped up a couple of times by not measuring properly and I do always regret it. So now I always measure twice, cut once. Anyway, I really hope to be with you again soon and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.
Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping. Christmas is going to be here before we know it, and as with every year, we want to make sure that we get our makes ready in time for gifting on the big day or for decorations in the lead up. We're here to help with our Christmas make shows, starting with our 3-day event on Friday the 31st of July until Sunday the 2nd of August, and we'll be live for 5 hours each day too. Expect lots of festival quilting, FPP, dressmaking and needle felting to make all your decorations, advent calendars, cushion covers and so much more. We'll have our expert tutorials from some of our favourite guest designers and a fabulous competition exclusively for our Sewing Street family. Keep your eyes peeled on our email newsletter, Facebook and Instagram for more details in the run-up. And don't forget to tune in from 8 AM till 1 PM on Friday the 31st of July until Sunday the 2nd of August on Freeview Channel 74, Sky 670 or on our YouTube channel. Welcome back, welcome back. Oh, we're having a lovely morning. Thank you so much for your company today. This is really exciting because I think it's something we all have, and I don't actually have any pan protectors, but I know exactly why Wendy's created a pattern for one. I was talking to Kat about these actually, because Kat's got frying pan protectors in her household and has always had them, and I've never known this is a thing, but I completely see why. I scratch my frying pans and bash them down and always get them all mixed up, and these are brilliant. You know, they've all got these coatings on nowadays that as well that you need to you do need to look after. So these are what we're making now. They look like lovely flowers. You've got beautiful fabrics, which we're going through in a minute, but this is how they're used. So If you've got all of your different frying pans, they sit perfectly in there and they are going to protect the one that goes on top of it. I'm going to talk to Wendy about why she's chosen to design these and how she's designed them differently to what she's used in the past, because I know the reason that she's designed them is because she couldn't get them as she wanted. So in your kit, you get instructions. Exclusive Wendy Orlando's pattern, exclusive for Sewing Street. You get great instructions from Wendy, very, very clear. Those of you that watched her foundation paper piecing demo, you know how clear and thorough she is. They're a great quick make as well. Just to say how quick they are, Wendy's been making some more for us in the break there in the last hour. So they really are really quick and simple to do. So we're going to go through exactly how you make them. They're your instructions. Everything you need to know will be in there. And you get different colour options. So depending on what decor you have, depending on what kitchen yours is like, we've got different options. So this is plum and gingham. This is your purples. Plum and gingham is always going to look beautiful in your kitchen. £12.99. Now you get your panel and you get your instructions. And this is enough to make two of your pan protectors. £12.99, and they are so beautiful. I like being able to have all these different fabrics on a panel, because imagine if you were to buy fat quarters even, how much it would be. So without any wastage either, £12.99, not only do you get your exclusive panel, you also get your instructions. And they are beautiful, beautiful fabrics, great quality. And we are going to learn exactly how to do it with Wendy today, this hour. We've also got the blue, your navy blue. I'm trying to think what will go in my kitchen, you know. I do like the purples, the plums. You can't go wrong with them, can you? They look so pretty. They'd be a great gift idea for somebody. Maybe if they're moving home, or as a wedding gift. You know, lots of people get different utensils and bits and bobs, don't they? But these would be lovely to make as that. What about the blue? This is called blue and cream. So you've got all of your pieces that you need to make two of your pan protectors. It's a brand new kit, exclusive to us from Wendy, just £12.99. And this one, you've got the spot, you've got a solid, you've got like a little, almost like a linear sort of texture. Just £12.99 for your panel, pre-printed panel, and your instructions. Now, just remember, if you are multi-buying on these, which I know people are, if you're thinking you've got multiple pans that you want to make them for, absolutely multi-buy, 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 and it will come exactly like this. We've got the blues and ochres. Remember, these are all exclusive to us. These are exclusively designed by Wendy. They are printed exclusively by us. Every single one of them is individual. Oh, these are lovely as well. So we've done kitchen make similar fabric to this in the past with other pre-printed panels. So it would be nice to mix them in with your pan protectors, wouldn't it? If you've already made like the oven gloves or any of your tea towels or cafetiere cozies with this fabric, why not make some pan protectors as well? £12.99. I love this detail. This fabric is one of my favourites. You've got like your all of your different pots. You've got your wine bottle. You've got your gravy boat. £12.99, and they're all so beautifully detailed. You've also got, last one, lots of different options, which is brilliant, isn't it? So we say we want to make sure that we've got something for everybody. Enough to make two frying pan protectors, and I think a lot of people are going to be multi-buying on these and making loads. Let's do the greys, and this one's called Misty. I think this is the one that I'd go for. I've heard about it. Look at this. So you've almost got like that gingham, which is a printed gingham. And then this was really beautiful. Again, I don't know whether you can see the detail, but you've got like a casserole holder. You've got a little pot. You've got some scales, all designed especially for this project. Just £12.99 for, don't forget, not only your panel, You know, sometimes you get a panel that's already got instructions on it. No, you get thorough instructions included. So you get photographs. You also can watch back today's show at any point. So they are your panels. Now, also, if you are going to make this with, obviously, it's not something that we'd recommend putting your hot plates down or your hot pans down on. It's something to store away and protect your cool pans. But if you are doing any kitchen makes, I must say, Thermolan is heat resistant. It's not heat proof, so I wouldn't put a hot pan on it, but it is heat resistant. So if you use a couple of layers in it, you could use it for things like your what are they called, hot pot holders, and you can use it for things like table runners if you're putting hot things on. So you could use it if you use double layer. It is an official Visaline product, and they advise on their website 2 layers of this if you do want it to be, you know, working with hot products. £5.99. By the way, this has been cut into, but you will get a 90 centimetre by 1 metre square. So nearly 1 metre full square. But because of the way that this has been developed, it's like a compressed fleece. It's so tightly compressed that if you're cutting smaller shapes, that might be easier to use, especially because we've got a lot of curves here. Wendy was saying she'd really recommend this. It's really easy to use because sometimes wadding, as we know, can expand or move, whereas this stays as it is. It's really well behaved. Unlike our Wendy, it's well behaved. You can use the other wadding that we've been using today, absolutely. But this, you might find easier. We'll talk to Wendy about it and see what she thinks, because I know that Wendy's used a lot of wadding, and I know you've also used the Thermolan, so we'll see. But remember that this is the not the one with the metal running through, so therefore you can put it in your microwave, or you know, it is one of those that keeps in the cool or keeps in the warm. So for lunch boxes as well, it's great. Lots of people love the Thermolan. It's just £5.99. It will come pre-cut. Unlike the wadding that we did earlier on that's by the ½ metre, this will come in your 1 metre piece. Brilliant. Is there anything else I need to mention before we get Wendy on? She's eagerly waiting in the wings, so let's get her on. We want to explain, we want to be able to ask her all about this brand new design. So those of you that haven't yet shopped with us before, it's so quick and easy to do so. This is how you do it. Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer, and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying 1 postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping. Where does it literally say? You could have got changed. You're literally wearing the same outfit.
You
sorry,
weren't you?
I'm sorry. Yes. How are you? You've been sewing, busy in the rain, making up more of
best hour
these.
ever. I have. I've had a cup of coffee one side, sewing the other.
Brilliant.
Perfect.
So, first of all, pan protectors. Is this something you've had before? You've used different pan protectors. Why do you use a pan protector?
Purely because hubby has spent a fortune on pans.
Right.
And like most people, you don't have the space to be able to display them at home. I mean, you can get those racks that you put them in, but they take up so much room.
Yeah.
And you don't really want them displayed in the corner of your kitchen. So we've got a big, deep drawer that all the pans just get thrown in. And because he's spent a fortune on these pans, I wanted something to protect them.
Oh, good idea.
And, you know, there are other designs around, but these ones are designed so that when you fold them up, the petal, they're not really petals, but the petal shapes, they form the shape of the pan. Some of them are quite wide and they're quite stiff, so they don't. And with these ones, they aren't actually just for frying pans. You can use them if you've got like, we've got a really special bread bowl at home that's really sentimental, and we put other things on top of it. So I've got one of the large ones in that. So I've just put a bowl in a bowl in a bowl. So if you have got special, it doesn't have to be frying pans.
Yeah, if you're clunking china onto china another bowl, then you just you hear it, don't you? You think,
the everyday china, not so worried about, but I do have a few special pieces that have all got the protectors in, so that I know that if someone does put something a little bit heavy-handed in the cupboard, because we're always in a rush and we're always going too quick. So that's what I've done it for.
Brilliant. So this is your pattern. You've spent the time designing these patterns.
Unpicking, sewing, until I got it exactly right.
Yeah, there's a lot of time that's gone into it, like you say, to get that part between those little petals
just right, so that when they fall in the pans. And also, for the more advanced sewers out there, they will probably wonder why I've got the seam down the back. I like to aim for the people that haven't really done any sewing and need to build their confidence up, but want to make something nice, because you don't really want to just keep sewing in straight lines when you're learning. And this is a really, really simple. All of my things that I designed for people that have just started in mind. And then if you want to adapt it, if you're more advanced sewer, that's fine. But you'll see that when we get going that the back panel is made in two.
But there you can see them stacked in between. I mean, we've got lovely colourways as well, haven't we? They're really beautiful. I know you've been working with the design team to
Tom's
be able to do
been absolutely
these
great. I'm sure
panels.
he's been cringing every time he sees me pop in his email box. But yeah, we've really worked really hard on the designs here. And this one I love especially because I said I asked him if one of them could have a white background, because that would go with all kitchens. And I chose the utensil one because it would just go with everything. It would go with the beige kitchens, grey kitchens, cream kitchens.
That was called Misty, is it? That one's the Misty kitchens that you can see the graphics in for now. It's just £12.99, and that's enough to make two of your pamphlet.
So it will make the larger and the medium size. And we've got little, I don't know if you have them, we have little egg pans. So they're just tiny. So when you put the medium one in the bigger pan, it will sit, because you don't need to have one at the top pan. So our little egg pan sits at the top and it just sits nicely.
Great idea, really good idea. And so I was also going to mention that when you're talking about beginners who are sewing, I love the fact that you've done this all on a panel as well, because I found it really, really baffling sometimes when you're looking at your cutting instructions and you're thinking, right, how do I get that right? And it's really got to be precise, otherwise it's not going to come together. You've done all the hard work for everybody. They're all different colours, they're complementing each other, so you don't need to think about that either. Does this include seam allowance? Do you just literally cut round your pieces? Amazing.
I like to make things as easy as they possibly can be, because sewing is really fun. It really is, and it should be fun, and you should enjoy it. And sometimes even I have those days where I've got a few machines at home and they all decide to misbehave on the same day. So I just put them to one side, don't talk to them for the rest of the day. But if you're trying to battle with your machine and all the project as well, so I like to make everything as easy as it possibly can be. And yes, you just literally cut the panels out around the edge, and that is it. That's it. You just cut around the shapes. And with the back, so this is what I was talking about, the back before. The more advanced sewer may do two panels the same and then just leave their opening to turn, because we turn it the right side out. But again, I don't like to see on the front, when you turn it in, you can never get it. You can't, no matter how hard you try, you can never get it quite right. Whereas this way, it's hidden at the back. But that doesn't mean to say that you actually can't. This is the one I sewed in the break, so I didn't have any thread with me, but you could quite easily use this side as well as that side. And again, with this one, what I've done is I've alternated. So instead of putting, like I have on this one, instead of putting the utensils with the utensils, I've flipped them over and done the other side. So you can do that.
Okay, I'm also thinking, do you know what? You've got a lot of gorgeous fabric there. You're not necessarily, I know that you see the bottom on these parts, but could you do, I'm just going to play devil's advocate, if you use your lovely fabric from the panel and then use a solid fabric on the bottom, you can actually make
Are you related to me? That's exactly what I would do. Exactly. I would keep all the pretty fabrics for the top, but then you would have to hand cut them.
Yeah. exactly. Yeah.
So this way it's so simple,
Yeah.
because there's no hit and miss. It's perfect. I'm calling the petals, as I say, it's not really a flower, but the petals fit perfect. But yes, I'm liking your thinking, because that way you get more for your money, don't you?
Absolutely. But at £12.99, remember, you get your instructions and you get your panel. Not surprised lots of people multi-buy. We've had a lovely message in from, who's that from? Valerie. She says, what a great idea. She says something I've never thought of before. This is a brilliant idea. She loves it.
But I was so sick and tired of keep having my pans scratched.
Yeah.
You know, and like metal utensils on them is a no-no. And when you do that and then you scratch it. And so that's why I designed these. And as I say, I sew them, unpick them, sew them, because I just wanted it just perfect.
Brilliant. Misty Blue is very, very popular, but what colour are you working with? Is it the blue and cream?
Yes. So
what colour's your kitchen?
We have, this goes perfect in the kitchen.
Yeah.
We have, it's called taupe, but it's more like a grey, and then we've got wood surfaces, so that goes perfect with it.
Nice.
I mean, the thing is,
misty.
they are hidden.
Yeah,
But so it doesn't really matter what colourway you go, because they are in a drawer. But if you do have them on the side, I know, you know, I'm no different.
Yeah.
The space is so limited that you want to cram things in, and you can't afford to do that when you've got really good pans.
Absolutely. And I suppose you can bung these in the wash as well, whether you use the wadding or the Thermolan, you can wash that as well, so you can put these in the wash. They're absolutely
The Thermolan is brilliant.
Okay, we'll talk about that as well in a bit, because that's good to know.
The only way I can describe it is like a really, really, I know it's not, but a really thick, good quality felt.
Right.
Which means it behaves.
Yeah.
Because I have used wadding in the past, and when you sew, then it sometimes goes out of alignment.
Especially when you're working with lots of curves, do you think that this is probably a better option?
It's brilliant. Yeah, I would definitely have this over wadding if you're working with a curve. And to your point, when you were saying you would layer them up if you were putting anything hot, I really wouldn't put anything hot anyway, but it doesn't really move. You'll be able to sew it easy, and that's what you're looking for when you're working with wadding. Wadding doesn't always behave.
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
Yeah, this Thermolan is a compressed sewing fleece that behaves itself. So it's definitely worth having a go for it, especially if you are thinking of making projects for the kitchen. It's really, really useful.
It is, and I've not really come across one of this quality before. It's really, really good.
Yeah, it's an official Visaline product, so it is really beautiful quality.
Right, so I've done a little bit of prep, because I know I always run out of time. I always talk too much and I always run out of time.
Yeah, and when you're sitting with me as well, it's probably not a great combination.
I'm not very happy with you, to be perfectly honest.
What have I done?
Well, remember when I first met you?
Yeah.
And I came in with my makeup bag that was about that big, and you took the whole desk up.
Yeah.
And
when I got my cement mixer out. And I said to you, I was going to show you my makeup bag that I've made, wasn't I?
Yeah, but something popped up on my social media, and I thought, I'm going to learn how to look like Vix.
Did you see my makeup tutorial?
I was mortified. You are flawless. You are, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to. And it was, but it is well worth a watch.
You have to find it somewhere. I think I'll put it on the Sewing fan page. You might.
I think you did, didn't you? I think that's where it popped up actually, but it was hilarious. But I'm a little bit disappointed because I did actually want some top tips from you. So again, the instructions are all written for a novice, and I do apologise if some of it does seem basic to the more advanced sewer, but that's the audience I want to capture, because I know how difficult it is when you're first starting out. So
you hear so much jargon, don't you, and abbreviations. Yeah. So
where possible, I try and tell it how it is.
Fabulous.
So that you'll go, yes, I can actually do that. And these would make brilliant presents, Christmas presents.
Yeah. Like you say, not just for pans actually, but for protecting your nice, fancy bowls or china. If somebody's, I've got bowls that I've inherited, or a couple of wedding gifts that are really special that I don't really use even.
And it doesn't really matter what the size is, as long as when you put it in and you place the bowl on top, that the petals do touch the bowl, because then you'll know that there's something between the bowl and the one beneath.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter if it's not quite the right size.
Okay, brilliant.
So that's the first thing we need to do, and as I say, it's all written step-by-step instructions and pictures to follow as well. So the first thing we're going to do is sew the back together.
How is the Visaline, the Thermolan to sew through?
Brilliant.
All right, yeah.
Brilliant. The machines I've been working with just are a dream anyway. My one at home is not quite as fancy as this, but it worked through that, no problem. I'm not sure. I will try because, you know, I like a challenge. I will try do 2 layers to see how that copes at home and let you know. But certainly with the 1 layer, that's fine. Okay. So the back is in 2 pieces. Yeah. And the reason I've done this is so that you can have the seam at the back. So we have the seam down here. And then it's hidden. Okay. But if you do, and I've done really neat stitches there, so if you do really neat stitches, you wouldn't notice if you did want to use it that way. But, you know, to your point, if you were doing a different fabric on the top, then you're going to have a seam. So something to think about. Okay. So we get right sides together and you match the shapes. And it literally is as easy as that you just match the 2 shapes. And I prefer to start sewing from the right angle because that's a little bit unstable at this end. So I would sew from that end.
Do you know what, that's a really good point because I think the other side you're more likely for it to chew up, aren't you, in your machine, whereas starting at the right angle.
Again, it's something that if you know you're sewing, then you would automatically do that. But if you don't know, because the machines have a tendency to gobble the ends of your material up. And that's why, again, it's always worth starting a couple of millimetres in and doing a reverse stitch back to the edge because machines do not like it if they're not sewing over anything. They need to be sewing over something. And all I'm going to do now, and I'm going to mark quite a big one because I did a small one in the break and I couldn't turn it back out the right way, but be as bold as you can. The smaller you leave the gap, the harder it is to turn out, but the less hand sewing you have to do. Right. But that's not a problem because I love hand sewing. And all I'm going to do is sew a 1/4 inch seam down to here and then down to here, and I'm going to leave this part unstitched.
No matter how advanced you are, it's always good to do a marking actually, because you can just be carried away and just keep sewing all the way around.
Many a time I've done it, but the unpicker is your friend. So I'm just going, now I don't know if all machines have it, but this machine, I want to do a 1/4 inch, but I know that this foot isn't a 1/4 inch foot. So I'm just going to move my needle to the right, and then that will give me my 1/4 inch seam.
When you say move your needle to the right, how do you do that? When I first started, I was really, I know a lot of machines don't, but are you just changing the stitch?
So, I don't know if you can actually see.
No, we can't see, but there's a...
So if you put, so now I've got my straight stitch, just my straight stitch, and the right hand side is indicating the stitch length. Right. So if I'm sewing a normal seam, I like to do a 2.4, 2.5. If I'm sewing a top stitch, then I like it to go up to a 3.5. And all that means, if the bigger the stitch, the freer the material goes through. Again, what I was talking about doing the 1.5, the higher, the least amount of times the needle goes in and out of the fabric. So all I'm doing, it's set at 3.5 at the moment, and if I do it up, you can see my needle moving. And I don't know if you're watching, I showed the trick with John, where you use your foot and you sew down and then you mark to see how big it is, and then as soon as you know what is your your 1/4 inch seam, and I know that if I set it to 5, it's 1/4 inch.
Oh, brilliant.
But it has to be in the straight stitch. Yeah, don't do it in any of the others, because if it's a zigzag stitch, all it would do is change the width. And then I'm going to start a couple of millimetres in and then do a reverse stitch.
I've done it very slow
turned
again.
It down, haven't you? Sorry, I've put my hair on. It's on the tortoise, and then I'm just going to sew down to that line and do a reverse stitch, or you could do a locking stitch.
I told everybody in the last hour that you love your speedy sewing, don't you? Had a lovely message come in from Poppy. Hello, Poppy. She says, this is a brilliant idea.
Oh, thank you.
Because also for mobile homes and caravans as well.
Oh, brilliant idea.
Stops them sliding all over the place when you're travelling.
Do you know what I would do as well? I would actually put it in a fruit bowl.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't have to wash it.
Yeah, good idea. She says, brilliant show. I love Sewing Street. She said, she's really enjoying today.
So I've done my 1/4 inch seam. And as you can see, I've left the middle unstitched. And all I'm going to do is, I normally iron the seams open. You'll see me doing that a lot. But for this time, I want to iron it over to one side. And there is a very good reason for doing that. You're thinking of that reason now, aren't you?
I'm thinking it's because you'll be able to close your gap easier, won't you?
If there's any, if you need to sew a gap closed, then if you have the fabric behind, it's much
Especially
neater.
if you've ironed it now, you can see exactly how
and that's why you can get on these, it doesn't really, you can't really see where it is. So if you were to do it open, you're going to get a gap down between the stitches, and we don't want that. So that's the first thing you do. Brilliant. And then we're not going to touch him for a little while. Or you could cut your little dog ear off, because we want it to be a perfect shape. And if you iron, if you iron over to the side, you will get that. So he's now finished. So now we're going to do the petals, what I'm calling the petals. And again, these are super easy. Everything is super easy because, as I said, if things are hard, people won't do it. Or they'll buy it and then not make it. And I don't want that. I want people to buy it and make it. So all I'm going to do, and the petals are all made in exactly the same way, is you take your piece of wadding and you lay whichever one that you've chosen, the right side facing up. So this is my top. This is going to be my top of the petal. Yeah. Or I could have that, it doesn't matter, that would be quite nice. But I'm going to have it all matching at the front. And it doesn't really matter if you do it the other way around. What you're looking for is to get the two pieces matching exactly. And
right sides together with your Vaseline on the bottom, with your Thermolan on the bottom.
Because at the moment, the right sides are here. Yeah. When I turn it out the other way, then it's all going to be encased. And I'm going to do 1/4 inch all the way round. Now, when you're sewing round a curve, do you sew round curves? Do you? Because a lot of people are scared.
I do. I'm not very good at getting my seam allowance to be consistent when I'm sewing round curves. If I'm honest with myself.
So how do you lift your foot?
Yeah, and try and keep my needle down and pivot it round a bit.
Yes.
I'm getting more confident with it.
If you're
I've been
really
making lots
confident,
of face coverings and doing lots of curves, so I have got more confident with it. But
if you're really, really confident, then there is a knack where you kind of pull it round at the same time, but then you run the risk of stretching the fabric.
Right.
So if you do it this way, and I don't actually know how if you're going to be able to see it, but I'm going to sew my 1/4 inch, and I just mentioned about the wadding. I've cut these quite close.
Yeah.
But if you're fairly new, just cut it a bit bigger, because the more you have to work with when you're sewing, the easier you're going to find it. I've sewn lots of these, so I'm quite confident having a small piece, but just cut it a bit bigger. Okay. Because the bigger you do, the more you're going to waste.
You'll have plenty there, by the way.
You will have more than enough. I used, that was for 2 of them, and it was a full piece, and that's what I used for 2.
And again, you're starting on a right angle, aren't you? You're not going to start on the curve.
Yeah,
no?
I would never start on the curve, because you need to sew down one side all the way around to the other, and we don't sew the bottom, because that's how we're going to turn it in the right side. Okay. So I'm just going off the, I'm starting on the wadding slightly, because as I say, machines don't like to sew on nothing, and then I'm going back. And the secret to sewing around a curve is to sew straight, and that sounds really stupid doing that. So I'm sewing straight as far as I can until it starts to curve, and I can see my foot veering off the edge. It's starting to misbehave and go away from that line. So needle in the down position and lift your foot and just turn it slightly, so then you are sewing in a straight line. So this edge down here is straight. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm sewing, and it's going to be just 2 or 3 stitches, because now I'm starting to veer off again. So I lift it up and I turn it round. And the more confident you get, the quicker you can. But take your time. These are so quick and easy anyway. Just take your time making them. So every time my foot goes off the edge, I needle down, lift my foot and twist it so that I'm then sewing in a straight line. But if you get more confident, you can pull it and do it at the same time, but I would always advise to do this way.
Especially with your needle down option, like, it's really good to stop and just readjust yourself.
Yeah, I would definitely do that. So as you can see, it's a really neat curve.
Oh, lovely.
Really, really neat. And the material's not puckering, because we're not stretching it. We've just allowed the material to stay where it is while we're sewing. Yeah. If you try and go round, force it round the curve, then you run the risk of puckering it. Then all we're going to do, and all the petals are made exactly the same way, is we're going to cut, and I'm going to cut close to the line without cutting. The reason I do this is because I do a top stitch around the petal, and if you've cut away as much as you can, your machine won't be sewing over that, whereas if I were to leave that now, it's going to sew over it. And I don't know how you cut, Vix, but I always cut with my line above my scissors.
Okay.
Do you cut like that? You're trying to think now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm just not saying I even think.
Because if I cut like that, then I can't really see what I'm doing. But then you do have to be careful if you're working with sharp scissors, because you're kind of working towards your hand. So just keep your hand well out of the way. But now I can see perfectly where I'm cutting, because the line is above and I can see it.
It's all things like you say that you probably just do automatically, but as beginners, you do obviously just start to cut like you do on a piece of paper.
And don't be scared of big scissors, because the bigger the blade, the smoother the cut you'll get. So we've done that now.
Right.
And we need to open it out. So we need to go in between the two pieces of fabric. If you stick your finger in to the end and use your thumb to push it back out, and then you're just going to use your thumb to create the curve, and this is where you find that you've cut too close and then your thumb pops out. Okay. But if you don't want to cut the excess off, that's absolutely fine. It's just, I know you're not allowed to feel it, but now the fabric is there.
Right.
So when I sew my 1/4 of an inch, it's not going to show. And then we'll give it a little press. And the one piece of advice I would give to people that are just starting out is press at every stage.
Okay.
Because
it really does make a difference, doesn't it?
Huge difference. Huge difference it makes.
Had a lovely message in from Pat, did you say?
Oh, hi Pat.
Pat, hello Pat. Pat said, hi Vicky and Wendy, hello. Loving the show. She said, I've used for many years as pan protectors, half a tea towel. Oh no. She says an old square dishwashing pad. So she's loving this. She says, this is a brilliant idea.
It's
and
so
she says, I like
simple
that it's
though,
different
isn't it?
sizes as well. She said, thank you so much.
Oh, very welcome. And please, if you make them, tag me in it. And if you've got any questions, just ask me.
Oh.
Just via, the Sewing Street fan page, just ask me and I'll answer any that I can. So I'm just going to make what's the time? Have we got time to make it all? Let's go for it. So I'm just going to sew the next one.
Yeah, we've got 20 minutes.
Oh, that's good.
It does seem to be behaving itself, the Thermolan. It's not moving or wiggling around. And have you got any, so you've just got a pin through the centre, haven't you? Or are you not even using a pin?
I went rogue this time.
Rogue.
I don't normally use pins, but that's because it's off a panel and you've cut it out exactly. And I'm always going on about the preparation of projects. If you prepare yourself first, then you shouldn't really need to. But by all means, pin it. I wouldn't clip it because you need to clip the edge. So okay. I would use pins in this instance. And all I'm doing is, as I said, as soon as my foot disappears off the edge, then I'm stopping and I'm just turning it round to make myself sew in a straight line.
Makes sense, doesn't it? Because your machine isn't turning, your machine's staying straight. It's like driving, I suppose, isn't it?
Yes.
Hi, Jules. Nice show, Vicky, Wendy. Oh, it's great, isn't it? We're having a brilliant Benny, thank you.
I'm having a lovely morning.
Hello, Maureen. She says, I'm really enjoying the show today.
Oh.
Thank you, Wendy, for the tip about sewing round curves. She
It
says,
works.
This has given me confidence.
It really works. But do it. Just use, if you're not sure, just use a piece of old material. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then just build your confidence, because machines are a little bit scary.
Yeah.
But don't let it bully you. Let it make
You
it
are in
work
control.
for you.
Yeah.
And just have a play. Have a play. Get to know your machine. And, I haven't really met any of these. I meet a new one every time, which is great. And if I can meet something going live and not really knowing the machine, then just have the courage to do it. Just do it. And as I say, if anyone needs any advice, the Sewing Street fans are amazing. There's always someone on there.
Yeah.
Always someone that will give you advice, because, we've all made those mistakes. And the unpicker is your friend. And then if you need to, it's not always the case, this behaves much better than wadding, you may just need to trim the bottom off.
Just a little bit of
Just
excess.
a little bit, and that's only where it's just popped out. So now and this is optional, because I did do these in the break. So I'd had such fun. So I didn't do any top stitching.
Okay.
Because I'd grabbed the wrong colour cotton. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I didn't do it. But that's what it would look like without doing this next step. That's what it looks like. Doing this next
do you know
step.
what? I think it does make a difference. Top
A huge
stitching,
difference.
doesn't it?
I am the biggest fan of top stitching, and also it stabilises everything. So when you do put it through the wash, and especially here where I've sewn the lines on, then it's not going anywhere. That wadding's not going.
Do you know what you'd love? The new Gutermann top stitching threads that we've had. They're beautiful. We've had variegated and all sorts, these gorgeous top stitching.
Anyone starting, another piece of advice is buy the best you can,
Okay.
because it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
It makes a huge
Do
difference.
you need to use always the 70 weight, like the heavier weight? Are you all right still with the normal? You can still do your top stitching with your
You can.
50 weight.
Yes, you can, definitely. But it's the look and the feel. It's lovely. Right, what I'm going to do now, have we got a ruler? I'm going to
Yeah, pinch one from our ruler rack.
I didn't really want to all fall down.
Thank you.
Those
Yeah,
ruler racks are amazing, aren't they? Oh, I'm glad it wasn't me. Actually, what we'll do, so we're going to top stitch around the edge, and it's exactly the same process as it is for sewing, is that as soon as you see your foot misbehaving and going off that curve, needle down, lift up and turn round. And I'm using the edge of my foot because I know I've set it at my 1/4 of an inch, and I'm taking the needle stitch up to 3.5.
Okay.
Because you're sewing through quite a few layers now, you want that fabric to be able to move really freely. Smaller stitch, you'll be trying to push it through, and you never ever want to push your fabric through.
Where are you watching when you're sewing? Where are you looking at? The needle, or where you're
I was just
going
about to say in my sewing room, and I thought you meant when I was watching you. I always look at the edge. Get to know your feet. Well, get to know your machine first, because it will be your friend, but get to know your feet.
Okay.
I've got a foot exactly the same as this at home, and it's got so many things on it. The little bar is like your 1/4 of an inch from the edge, then you've got a little triangle that you can follow for your straight stitch, but I always look to the edge.
Right.
But get to know and have a play, just get some old material and just do every stitch. But what you must remember to make sure that you've got the right foot for the right stitch.
Yeah.
Because you don't
you
want
break
your straight
the
foot.
needle.
Yes. Which we know because I did it the other day.
Well done it. I think I did it the same day as you.
You did,
well.
didn't you?
Yeah.
And I have, see this is dark and this is not, but you get the general idea. I have to have everything matching.
It's telly sewing, don't worry. I know that you were saying, I need this.
But actually,
thread.
it doesn't, you could.
Yeah.
If you're really bold and really confident with your top stitch, well, it doesn't matter if you're not, but the more confident you are, the more bold you can go.
Contrast.
Definitely.
Okay. But if you aren't so confident, then why not use one that's going to blend in a bit more?
Have a go.
Okay.
So now we've got all our petals, and we're going to create the front. So what we need to do is you need to mark halfway between these two. They're not right angle corners, but they are corners. So it's 4.5, so we need 2.25. And you mark every single corner. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to do a bit of top stitching. Now, if you want to do free motion, this will be the perfect opportunity. I've tried, Vix, I've tried. It's not pretty. I have tried. That's the thing that I want to be able to master. I will get there. I think John was telling me you have to have some ridiculous amount of hours before you're good at it.
Oh,
really?
really?
Ridiculous. At the moment, I haven't got that, but I'm going to keep going. Because even though I've been sewing for a long, long time, I learned something new.
Something new, yeah, exactly.
And that's what keeps it special, that you learn something new. So I've marked the centre mark on all of the sides. And I should have got that one in the first place, shouldn't I? And all you want is a ruler, and I'm going to draw a line from that mark to the opposite corner. Now you do need to take into consideration the thickness of your nib. Sometimes you don't, but in this case you do, because the neater you can make it here, the better it's going to look. But no one's gonna notice. So I'm just drawing from one to the other, and I do that on all 7 sides. So I've got my wadding underneath, because you'll find it much easier to do this because it keeps the fabric nice and stable.
Can you see that pen okay? Yeah, you can.
Can you? Yeah. It's coordinating. I didn't really want it to coordinate. That serves me right for not behaving, for not paying attention, doesn't it? But that's okay. So you need to draw from the opposite to the opposite. Got lost in the moment then. And they will all cross in the middle, or they should all cross in the middle. I've got a little rogue one there, not behaving, so I don't know why he's...
Okay, Hannah's trying to make up lines with her brain because of the spots.
Of course it is, isn't it? It is, isn't it?
In real life, it doesn't do that as much, but yeah, you'll be able to see it clearer at home. But I know what you mean. I'm starting to see lines through the spots.
Yeah, that's right. So let me show you on that one. So can you see on that one? You can. I don't know if you can see. Just trying to see one.
Again, it's just it is just because it's slightly lighter. You'll be able to see it at home though, so you can see where you've gone from the point to a straight line.
So you need to go from the centre that you marked to the opposite corner. Centre to the opposite corner.
Yeah.
And then all you do is top stitch over the top. If you want to do free motion, if you want to do like a cross hatch, if you want to do diagonals, It's exactly, you can do exactly what you want. As soon as it becomes in your hands, it's your project.
Yeah.
So I just thought that looked really pretty.
Neat, yeah.
I do like neat and I do like uniform. How are you for time? Because I don't want to be...
8 minutes?
Oh, 8 minutes. Right, so that's quite self-explanatory. And then I would start off the edge and go all the way and just do a reverse on the other. And then when you've done that, we now need to, and that will be, it will be nice and firm.
Keeping your Visaline, your Thermoland there.
This is now part of the panel. This is how we now put it together. So again, it's entirely up to you which way you want to do it. On that one, I went with the same colourway, and on that one, I went with the opposite colourway. So it's entirely up to you how you want to do it. So I'm going to have the spots with the spots. So I'm going to have mine like that, which means you need to put right sides together.
Okay.
And you want to centre it in the middle. And then all we're going to do, you can pin it if you want to, but I always like to tack mine because then the pins get in the way. The pins do tend to get in the way if I've got them all pinned around. So I'm just going to do a tacking stitch. So I'm going to take the stitch up, it's already on there, but I'm going to take it up to 3.5, and then I'm going to go right close to the edge. So you want to be sewing 1/8 of an inch so that you don't...
In the seam
exactly, you don't encroach into that. And I'll put it... Right. This is very, very easy to work, this machine.
It is, isn't it? I find this really user-friendly, actually.
It's very user-friendly.
The machine, just so you know, we are limited on the stock of this one, and it's £100 lower than I've seen it elsewhere. Well, a couple of other comparison sites that I've seen were £6.99, so I think it's a brilliant deal at the moment. And it's got the thread cutter, which is so useful, isn't it? That's a new addition.
The thread cutter, it does take a bit of getting used to if you don't have one, because you go to lift it up and it
yeah.
But the thing that I love more than anything in this is that it's got the bobbin cutter.
Right.
And a lot of machines don't have that. So when you put the bobbin in, you just slide it round and pull it round and it cuts it off. So you don't have to wind the wheel and pull it.
Good.
And that's a bit of a pain. And, you know, I am a lefty. Yeah. I love being a lefty, but I am. But sometimes things are a little bit more difficult for me to get to. Yeah. And this is so simple, so easy.
Brilliant. It's little things like that. I love the detail of, you know, everybody's got their different favourite things, and it could be something, you know, but that's really useful.
That's a game changer, definitely.
Brilliant.
That one. And then all we do is we place them all the way around. I don't know, I want to make sure I show everyone each step. So
I've got walking foot on there, and it seems to be managing it all right still.
It's perfect. But as I say, take the stitch length up. Let me take it down and see what it does. Yeah, it's okay with it, but it's not liking it. But if I take, because this is only a tacking stitch, so if I take it up, then it's much happier with it.
Yeah.
And then keep going round, and remember you want your right side, the one that you intend to be at the top, face down. Just let me know when I'm getting close, because I just want to show the last piece. I don't mind if I've got some missing. That's okay.
Fine.
Oh, that's good. And you can, as I say, you can pin these. But I'm just going to go for it. But you do want them to be central, and that's remember me saying that when I designed them, I did it so that it fits a lot of sizes because of the way the petals have been placed. So you do want to get it in the centre of that seam.
Right.
Ask me when I'm in next, Vix.
When are you?
It's Christmas.
Oh, really?
The weekend. So excited.
Oh,
I think, what is it? When does the show start?
On Friday.
See, it's only, what are we today, Wednesday?
Yeah, two sleeps. Two sleeps till Christmas.
Oh my goodness, I am so excited. I'm really excited to see what projects everyone's been given.
Oh, there's
I know
so
mine
many.
And I'm not telling.
There's brilliant projects this weekend.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm not going to do any spoilers, but be there this weekend. I'm not even here. I'm so envious. I'm not even anywhere. I don't know why they've taken me off Christmas.
Do you get a little bit excited, Vix?
Potentially, yeah, they're thinking, right.
I don't get at all excited at Christmas.
Have you seen John Cole Morgan? He loves Christmas so much that, if anyone's going to get overexcited, it's not me, it's John. So, I'm not here.
I love Christmas.
I will be over on our sister channel at some point, so I will make sure I pop in and eat the figgy pudding. Hoping we get...
I don't love
Christmas treat. No.
I don't like figure pudding, but I'm so excited. So I've now gone round all of them, and they will all overlap each other. Doesn't matter, because when it doesn't matter what order they overlap in. And then we'll just cut. So you need to cut the front, round this part. So if some of the petals have gone over slightly, then you may need to trim them back, but you want to cut it right up to the edge.
Just so you know, there's only 20 units left of them, Milan. It does come pre-cut into 1 metre by 90 centimetre pieces, but you get plenty in there to be able to make your 2, and you'll have some left over if you do get enough to do your 2.
Loads. Yes, even with 2 of them, you'll have absolutely. I made the frying pan set out of that.
Oh, fantastic.
That's what I had left from one set.
Brilliant.
So, yeah, if you just buy the panels, then you don't need to buy one of these for each of the panels. So now we've made we've put the petals in, and all we're going to do now is put the back on. Now, you can pin it in place. I wouldn't do that. It does say to pin it, but I would sew each side at a time, because you've created quite a bit of height with the petals. If you just sew it like this, by the time you come round to the last edge, it's going to have moved out. So sew each side at the time. So I'm just lining one side up, and this time you do want to come in to your 1/4 inch, and you want to take it back down to a seam width, so it's like a 2.6 or a 2.4. And then I'm sewing my 1/4 inch. And again, I have gone back down, and I've got loads of layers, and it's just going through.
Gosh, yeah, that is dealing with it a lot better than I thought it would actually. That you are a lot of layers.
There's a lot of layers there. So I get to the corner, and my needle's down, and I turn it. So now I line my next side up and sew down.
Yeah, having that needle down option.
Always use your needle down when you stop.
Yeah.
Because that way, if the phone rings or you go to the door, or if you lift it up and then it moves, now I can just do anything with it. Yes.
About 4 minutes.
Oh, perfect. Don't say I've actually timed a project.
I know. We haven't been gassing so much, have we?
I just get so excited when I'm sewing. It's one of my favourite things to do. I do lots and lots of different crafts, but sewing is one of my favourites.
You teach as well, don't you? So do you know when your workshop or when your teaching is going to start up again? Have you got any idea yet?
No. But if you head on over to the website, then there's loads of tutorials, and most of them have got lots of pictures in. Because as I say, I do like to teach the people that maybe haven't got the courage to start, because it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And especially over what's been going on, you need to keep busy.
Yeah, I think it's such a good mindful activity, isn't it?
And all I'm doing, each time I'm going round, I'm just moving the side in line.
Right, this is why it's important to leave that centre seam open, so don't stitch that up too early, because you're going all the way around.
Don't stitch it up at all until the end.
Yeah.
And as I say, it does stop you using the back fabric as a front, but it just means it's so much easier to make your project look nice. And if you want to sell them, then yours is going to look better than others.
Are you letting people sell them?
Of course.
Brilliant.
So, and all you do now is you put your hand in, and it's easier to pull the petals out. So if you can find the ends of the petals, you should find the rest follows.
You've left quite a nice sized gap, you say, bigger than the one that you left in the break.
But you will do more hand sewing.
Okay.
So be bold if you can do a little one, but you don't want to, all your hard work, you don't want to rip it open. So all you do now.
I know you did your little bit of, your cutting as prep, but actually that's a really great afternoon quick project.
And it is going to be unpicked and done again, because I've got to finish it's got to be perfect. But so as you're, just pull your petals away, because you want to, and actually what you need to do before, and it's really important you do it from the non-wadding side, just poke your corners out.
Okay.
You'll find it much easier from the non-wadding side, because we need to get the fabric to behave for us. Just pop it in. And then with that centre, so we want to iron the one flat, and then that one over. And then you can see once that's sewn over,
yeah,
you're hardly
perfect.
going to
It'll be
see.
seamless.
And the last thing you want to do, and again, the top sewing is your choice if you want to. If you don't want to, is to sew round here. If you're going to top stitch, I'm not going to this one, but if you are, then cut before you turn it the right way. Do that close to the seam that we did with the petals, because you want to reduce the bulk that's there.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. We love that pattern and everybody's loving it. Lots of lovely messages for you.
Thank you so much.
And as we say, if you've got any questions for Wendy, of course you can.
Please, just ask me.
We'll see you at Christmas then. You've got your Christmas jumper ready?
Are you serious? It's so warm.
I know it is, yeah, it is. 31 degrees on Friday when we're launching Christmas.
I might get my little Christmas hat, I don't know yet.
Brilliant. Can't wait to see you. Thank you so much. It's lovely to see you. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have a quick roundup after this. Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping. Well done to everybody who's already checked out. If you haven't, there's still time, don't worry. Exclusive to us. And as you can tell, Wendy's so passionate about these. They're really well thought out and designed beautifully. And incredibly useful, really useful. I think they are, you know, like, as we say, so many people have been saying, do you know what? I'd never even thought of that. I've been using this. Or, do you know what? I'm really fed up of scratching all of my expensive pans. So this, I think, is going to be a great gift idea for people. As Wendy said as well, you always ask designers if they're happy, you know, for making to selling. So if you are thinking of, in the future, doing craft fairs or craft stores, these are going to be brilliant little makes for gifts for people. So you get your instructions and your panel with each of the kits. So your instructions, plus remember you can watch back on YouTube Wendy's show, and she's happy to answer any questions on Facebook as well. So the first panel that we're looking at is the Misty Blue. First option, don't forget, you get your instructions and you get all of your beautiful fabrics. This was in fact Wendy's favourite. It's beautiful, really, really lovely detail on this. And it looks like it's everybody else's favourite. A bit of a trendsetter, our Wendy, you see. £12.99. In fact, there's only 15 of these left, and there's so many of you that have got it in your basket, so please check out as soon as you can. Remember, seam allowance is included. Really lovely, easy, simple project. If you are wanting to practice sewing curves, go for it. I think Wendy's given us all of the confidence to do it. So that's the Misty Blue. I've always also got the one that we made up during the show was the Blue and Cream, which is this one. Pre-printed panel, multi-buyers galore. I'm not surprised. If you do want to make multiple pan protectors, remember, whether it be for your frying pans, whether it be for special crockery and special china, just to make sure, because we don't all have lots of space. And if anybody's like, I used to have everything all out on the sides until I moved in with my husband, and he doesn't like anything on the side, so much so that well, Hannah was saying to me, oh, like your toaster. I said, I only just sort of said to Kieran, please can we keep the toaster out, because he likes to put it away. Hannah's the same. She doesn't like a toaster on display. So yeah, if you do put pots and pans in cupboards and drawers, you can get toaster covers now. Right, that's another thing that you need to do, please. Toaster cover, Wendy. Right. We've also got the ochre and blue. This one's called Blue Coffee Pots. Great for your kitchen. You've got all of your lovely little utensils, everything included. Maybe if you've got, you know, special plates or special bowls, some of them can be really, really expensive, can't they? If you're stacking them all up in a cabinet, bowls or plates that are special that you may have got for a special anniversary, a special wedding gift, or just inherited from a loved one that, you know, you save for best when the Queen comes round, those sort of bowls. We've all got them, haven't we? But you just want to protect them, ones that you save for Christmas Day. Oh, Christmas is going to be so exciting. £12.99, you get your instructions and you get your panel. We've also got one other colourway to show you, which is your plum. Don't let these ones be forgotten because these are gorgeous as well. It's just because, I tell you what, I'm wowed, one, by the idea, but two, how many choices we've got. And as we sort of said, it's not necessarily something that is going to be all on show, so it doesn't need to be completely matching with your kitchen. The plums are beautiful. And the greys in there as well. Just £12.99 for your pre-printed panel. Multi-buy on these, absolutely multi-buy. What are we doing in the next hour, girls? Oh yeah, how could I forget? It's rainbow. It's something that's just been keeping us smiling over the last few months. So we've got lots of fabric, lots of projects and roundup kits coming up right after this.
Hi, I'm Rosie Wells.
My name's Poppy and I'm a nutritional therapist.
Hi, I'm Ruth Lynette and I can't wait to join you all on the brand new Gemporia Lifestyle channel.
If you're a fan of primal living, you're going to adore what's around the corner.
What is lifestyle? Lifestyle is healthy habits.
Feeling good, it's about looking great.
Making sure that we're taking good care of ourselves inside.
And it's about the life that you lead and the home that you live in.
All of this is why I'm so excited.
We've got the most wonderful team.
Homeware deals and primal deals under one roof on one channel.
I can't wait to share this brand new channel with you. So we'll see you soon on Gemporia Lifestyle.
Gemporia Lifestyle, coming soon to Freeview Channel 74 and gemporia.com.
Hello and welcome. We love hearing from you and we really hope that you can follow us on our social media platforms. We've got Instagram, which is @SewingStreet. We have Facebook. We've got two Facebook pages. One is the Sewing Street TV page and the other one is Sewing Street Fans. All three of these are monitored all the time by our wonderful team, and if you want to message us on air, drop us a line on either of those three and we'll definitely be able to answer your questions that you may have. If you post on the actual wall, we can perhaps answer there. Otherwise, message us as well. That works really, really well. Thank you so much for being involved, and it's only because of this community that we're able to bring you all these different diverse products and to be able to answer your questions that you may have. Another way you can stay in touch with us is by signing up to our newsletter. These newsletters are sent out to you very regularly and they include not only our guest profiles of upcoming guests, but also amazing shows that we've got coming up for you. And if you want to look at the amazing products before everybody else, that's the best way to do it. If you'd like to sign up and you haven't already, the link to follow is www.sewingstreet.com/sign up. You won't regret it. Thank you.
If you love sewing, then you need the UK's favourite sewing magazine. Every month, you'll receive exclusive patterns. Follow simple step-by-step guides suitable for all skill levels to make your own stunning clothes, accessories and more, together with inspiring tips and tricks from industry experts. Join in and discover your love for sewing. Try Love Sewing today and get your first 3 issues for just £6.
Hi there, my name's Allison Marion and I'm thrilled to be joining the Sewing Street family. I live in Staffordshire where I run a couple of sewing groups and I have a passion for vintage sewing machines and also applique. I've stitched in some form for as long as I can remember, but I absolutely love teaching and helping people stretch their skills and hopefully demystifying some of the techniques that can be quite daunting for beginners. So I'm looking forward to meeting the team and getting into the studio. See you soon.
Christmas is going to be here before we know it, and as with every year, we want to make sure that we get our makes ready in time for gifting on the big day or for decorations in the lead up. We're here to help with our Christmas make shows, starting with our 3-day event on Friday the 31st of July until Sunday the 2nd of August, and we'll be live for 5 hours each day too. Expect lots of festival quilting, FPP, dressmaking and needle felting to make all your decorations, advent calendars, cushion covers and so much more. We'll have our expert tutorials from some of our favourite guest designers and a fabulous competition exclusively for our Sewing Street family. Keep your eyes peeled on our email newsletter, Facebook and Instagram for more details in the run-up. And don't forget to tune in from 8 AM to 1 PM on Friday the 31st of July until Sunday the 2nd of August on Freeview Channel 74, Sky 670 or on our YouTube channel. The snow's coming down, Christmas. Oh, I'm really gutted I'm not here this weekend. I'm really upset about missing Christmas. It's all, of course, in the craft world, we have to think a bit earlier than everybody else about Christmas, don't we? Especially this year. I think it'd be lovely to do some beautiful gifts for people and, you know, decorations. So we're getting you all kitted out, ready. Do watch the show from Friday to Monday. As I say, Wendy's going to be joining you on Sunday. It's going to be brilliant. Oh, there's so many beautiful, beautiful projects. Now, I am surrounded with gorgeous colour, great projects, lovely fabrics. We've got something for everybody. Those of you that have already opened your order today, maybe you've already got your wadding. Then we've got 1P&P, remember, all day long. I always say this, even if you've bought maybe the wash away quilters tape, if you bought it, it was £1.99 and you're now thinking, do you know what? I've bought that, I know I wanted that. I might as well just have a sift through, maybe even if it's this evening. It lasts till midnight tonight, so you can pay 1P&P all day. Those of you that missed this, where you been? Where have you been? We have been talking about this a lot, I know, but it's really, really, really important that we mention in case anybody missed this earlier on. It's back! Has anybody got a megaphone that I can shout from the rooftops and let everybody know? We've got it back. £6.99 a half metre, the first time we'd ever done 80-20 mix by the half metre of your wadding, and it's back in stock. We launched it a few weeks ago and we've been waiting. Thanks for your patience. It's extra wide, it's 224 centimetres wide, and it's £6.99 a half metre. Beautifully soft, not just any old wadding, it's a Visaline product, so it's beautiful, beautiful quality. If you are thinking of doing any of the quilting projects that we've got in this first hour, first hour, we're doing another, we're going back in time now. Oh, Hannah said no. Hannah said no. Going home. Kat's happy to stay. So this is so beautiful. It's so light, so soft. It's your 80% cotton, 20% polyester. And I kind of want to show you, for those of you that didn't see, how much you get for £6.99. Right, it goes on and on and on. Look at this. You literally get so much wadding. It is beautiful, beautiful quality, and it's £6.99. It's going to be cut especially for you as well, so if you want metres and metres, go for it. Now, I need to do a bit of a stock update because we started with 1,000 units of this. I'd never normally say that, and I never normally talk about how much we've ordered, but we were so confident that we said, right, we're ordering 1,000 units, not 100, 1,000 units. How are we on stock, Hannah? We are down to 189 units. And we are still in the live show. So if you're watching on a replay, if you're watching any kind of repeat, please try and get some if you can, because this is always going to be useful for so many projects. I'm hoping as well, Wendy's given us a bit of inspiration today and a bit of courage and enthusiasm to try out something different. I just love her. She's got something. For foundation paper piecing especially, she's just got such energy and such passion about sewing, and I just love her enthusiasm for trying something new. She's been sewing for a long, long time, and she said she'd never done foundation paper piecing before, and she loves it, wants to do more and more and more, making her own patterns and having a bit of a go. So dive in if you've never done quilting before. With wadding of £6.99, I tell you what, if you do a quilt and you never make one again, it's not much as, you know, I think this is something though that you're going to get really into and really enjoy. I absolutely love it. I think it's such, so when you finish your first quilt project, the the sense of achievement that you feel is unlike anything else. It's just so exciting. So I can't wait for you to feel that too if you've never done a project before. And it's $6.99. It's an essential. You do need your wadding if you are doing quilted projects, and having that 80-20 mix I think is probably my go-to when it comes to wadding. It's beautiful quality and it's $6.99. Right, I'll update you. I'll let you know when it's sold out, but just so you know, started with 1,000 units and we're less than 200 now. Gorgeous. Right, so another fantastic purchase today, and you heard Wendy talking about it. Another machine that she'd never, ever, ever had a play with until today. And she says, gosh, I love this and I love this. I love this feature about it. And things that I hadn't necessarily said to you even. So it has all of its standard sort of features and functions and reasons why I love it. But I love when sewers who have been working with, different machines over the years, they find other things that, my machine doesn't have that. You don't have to be hand cranking for your needle to try and get your bobbin thread on, as it's got the little cutter. You just literally put your wadding in. Sorry, you put your wadding. Got wadding on the brain. Put your bobbin in, and then it's got the cutter there. Really, really useful. She actually said it was a game changer. You can use it with or without a foot pedal. So now it's plugged in. I'm just going to very quickly go through the different modes and the different buttons on the screen. So you've got your different modes. You can see here it will run through it will light up. So there's number 1. And there your number 1 cards. So you've got all of these stitches on mode 1. So let's just pick one. For example, I'm going to do one of these nice, 34 looks interesting. So it goes up in 10s with your arrows. So you go 30. And I'm going to do 34, which is like this sunshine one. I've never seen one like that before. And it would tell me that I need the F foot, which I believe is the satin stitch foot. So it allows your needle to swing. It'll also tell me the recommended sort of stitch width and stitch length. But if you're going up all of these different stitches, it will then tell you. If you want to go back to the start, you're thinking, right, I've pressed too many buttons now, don't know what I'm on. Just go C, and it will take you back to your standard straight stitch. Mode 2. If I click to mode 2, that's the second lot of flashcards on the side. You've got lots of applique stitches, beautiful decorative stitches, quilting stitches. There's just something for everybody. I really think if you're a bit like me that like to dip in and out of all sorts of sewing, so if you are a dedicated quilter and that's all you do, maybe you're going to be looking at different machines. But if you are, a bit of a Sunday sewer, you like to get the machine out and try some bag making, try a bit of quilting, maybe dabble in a bit of dressmaking or bag making and toy making, this machine has got so many different features and functions for all of those different techniques, which I love. Then there's another mode. So addition, this isn't just the 570, this is the 570A. So if you click mode again, you're then onto, I'll click buttonhole. If you click mode down to the A, that's your alphabet. So the back of your manual, it will give you 2 different alphabets, numbers, different sort of symbol stitches like hearts and stars and musical notes and all sorts. So you've got that as a latest addition to the 570A. It's also, as an addition to the latest model, you've got this memory button, which is your thread cutter. So it didn't have a thread cutter before. Your 550, your 560 and your 570 didn't have a thread cutter. Today, your 570A does. So it has that memory button, which is new. So it will memorize. If you click it, can you see the scissors has just come up on the screen? I'll take it off again. Click it and your scissors will appear. That means at the end of the sequence, it will cut your thread. So you can end it with a locking stitch and it will then cut your thread afterwards. You've got your speed dial buttons, you've got your memory key, so you can start to do sequences between these decorative, if you want to do some borders. You've got your locking stitch, your needle up down. You've seen Wendy using this a lot. Great to stop and pivot around your pan protectors or any of your projects. Your reverse stitch, your stop start. So at the moment you can see it's got a picture of a little foot pedal. If you want to take your foot pedal out, it will then, you can use your stop start button, so it then will appear off the screen. So many stitches, amazing features and function, lovely and lightweight. Therefore you can sort of use it in different places, sewing around the house, but it's still robust. It's still that Elna brand, and that's what I think we all recognise and we all love. It's got the 2 years warranty. It's only just come back into stock, and I remind you to have a look elsewhere because we found it £699 at most places. So it's brilliant that not only do you get it here £100 lower than elsewhere, but also today, while stocks last, you're going to get some extra bobbins, you're going to get some snips, and you're going to get some fabric to start playing around with, all for just £599. Now, don't panic if you purchase this today and your bundle comes separately. Don't worry, don't say, oh, my sewing machine's not here, but my bundle is. It will come direct from Elna. Still under our postage and packaging, but the machine comes from Elna and the products will come from us. Well done to everybody who's already checked out on this today. If you've got any questions about it, please do let us know. And if I can answer them, I absolutely will. If I can't, I will endeavour to find out the answer to your questions. Okay, we've got loads of kits though, haven't we? So talking of our lovely Wendy Orlando, the cushions that we've had from Wendy have been so, so gorgeous. Which one do you want to start with? This one. This is your poof cushion instructions. Right, I'm going to just shimmy a few of these out the way so we can see a little bit clearer what we are looking at. We've got loads. I love these. I've not seen that before. So, Wendy Orlando, obviously, you've just met. She's absolutely gorgeous. She's so lovely and she's very, very thorough with her instructions. She was saying that she aims to focus more towards somebody who's never sewn before. Not to say that somebody who is an avid sewer wouldn't want to make this. It looks so cool, doesn't it? Really tactile. But what I'm saying is that it's broken down beautifully. So for somebody who is new to sewing, don't panic. There's no sort of jargon. It is very, very clear indeed with great photos as well. It's designed especially for us. So this was, as I say, brand new to her and designed especially for us. So in the kit, you get 1/2 metre of white, what looks like 1 metre of gold, and your panel, which is like a charm pack basically. You're getting all these 5-inch squares, which is fabulous, isn't it? But you're getting loads, absolutely loads. You're getting 40 coordinating fabric squares, which look great in this big poofy cushion. You also get to create this, is it like trapunto? It's like big sort of stuffed, you know, it's my new favourite word. I love trapunto. No, you don't. You just love the word. That's what Hannah said. I do like trapunto. Tell you what, she's been ever so rude to me today. Can I just say, for the record, I'm really joking. Hannah and I are good friends and she loves the banks. That's where it all went wrong, wasn't it? When we started talking about the touchy-telly green button. So, you've got your charm squares, all of your instructions, your other fabrics to create a nice big cushion as well, I must say. That's so cool, isn't it? You could, I suppose, do it as a playmat for children as well, couldn't you? Like babies, you know, when you have all different sounds or different rustles in there as well. It's so lovely. You got, for just £24.99, all of these gorgeous colours. What date was it on, Hannah? It is an envelope back, nice and simple, but I tell you what, it's going to look impressive, isn't it? If this is a gift for somebody, I do like a nice soft cushion. That would be lovely for the sofa. Sorry, I'm just testing it out, what it feels like to sleep on. It's lovely. So it's on YouTube. If you type in Wendy Orlando, you'll be able to find it on YouTube. Sewing Street, Wendy Orlando, potentially puff cushion, and it should come up. And I can't find the date, can you tell? You'll be able to find it. It is on our YouTube channel. Right. So then, the Starry Night quilt. I don't have it here. I think John's got it at home. But in the Starry Night quilt, those of you that have seen it, it's absolutely spectacular. It's a big quilt as well. I wonder whether John's got the finished size here. I'm just looking through. I haven't got the finished size, but it's a really large quilt. It's a gorgeous quilt. You get 3 meters of your background fabric, and then you also get your barley pops, which, by the way, I just saw Wendy Orlando saying, right, I want more of these to make projects with. I love them. They are absolutely beautiful. They'd look amazing with this. Thank you. This was demoed on the 4th of July, 4th of the 7th. If you do want to watch it back onto YouTube, type in Sewing Street and the 4th of the 7th, 4th of July, and you'll be able to find it. It's $69.99, and that is what you're going to need to be able to create this lovely Starry Night quilt. And I must say, having the charcoal, this grey background, I really, really like. It's not going to be as stark as having like not stark, is that the wrong word? I was going to say like having a real black background, but having that almost misty night sky, I think it's going to look beautiful. Still very dramatic, especially against your barley pops, which, by the way, let's just talk about barley pops because they are so beautiful. You're getting 40, 2 of each design. They're all individual though because they are traditionally hand dyed in barley and they are beautiful quality. They're laser cut 2.5-inch strips. You're getting a full rainbow of colour, and I must say they are absolutely beautiful, really beautiful to sew with, and they will look spectacular in this quilt. They will look spectacular. So not only do you get your instructions and all of your photographs as well from John Cole Morgan, he designed it himself, so I'm sure absolutely he'd be able to have a helping hand as long if you had any questions for him as well. But it's a beautiful, beautiful quilt. Do love that indeed. So it's just $69.99. Really effective, isn't it? Really effective. We've got the rainbow barley pop on its own, which is, they're the sort of pastel-y shades. We've got some real brights, which I want to show you. It's the same with the other ones. It's just a matter of what colourway you're going for. These obviously didn't go back into our nice neat packet. They end up more like this. They're folded so nice. This is how they just live now. It's fine. They are packaged so beautifully though, so if you are presenting them as a gift for somebody, look at how much you get. But actually, when you see it out on the desk like this, you realise how much is packed into this pack. You're getting 40 of these beautiful, beautiful strips. They're slightly sort of lighter weight cotton. They're really, really special. Those of you that have seen batik quilts, I know a lot of people that actually only work with batiks. There's some awesome designs out there. Have a look on Pinterest and have a look online and you'll be able to find some really, really, really cool designs. But that is gorgeous. I love the detail of the spot. I love that every single one of them is going to be different. You've got some really beautiful colours. And I mean, we're looking at rainbows this hour. We're looking at this as a rainbow of fabric. But actually, right, I'm going to go through and have a look. There's a blue. There's a blue. If you're just doing sort of like a deeper blue sort of core, you're going to have so much fun. If you're like me and love just sorting through, Hannah does the same. I'm going to name and shame her now. Less making, more sorting and folding through all of our stash. It happens, doesn't it? Me and Hayley Marshall say we're having this conversation. She's like, haven't made anything, but do you know what? I've been organising all my fabrics all together. I'm ready when I do make something. So if you wanted to do like an under the sea or, you know, look at all of these beautiful blues that you've got. Remember, you're getting 2 of each colour and they're 112 wide, but they are such beautiful quality because of the way that these have been traditionally hand dyed. Obviously, you've got the colours on both sides. They're all completely unique. I'm looking forward to, you know, it's obviously not going to be in the foreseeable future, but as soon as we're able to, we are taking that field trip to Bali. Anyone coming? Obviously to see the traditional hand dyeing technique of batiks. £39.99, they're beautiful. Not just blues, remember, look, all of these, if you're going to do your pinks or your sunset shades. Gorgeous. Okay. £40 as well, if you break it down of how much you're going to make. I think I was really quite shocked when I saw how much Wendy did make when she came in with all the different projects. There was table runners and cushions, there was placemat, and she made loads with it. Obviously, if you team it up with like a solid, just a white, it will look brilliant against all of your beautiful, or the charcoal or even a black. Beautiful. Okay. Every single time that we bring this in, it always sells out. These colours are part of our sort of core colours. We'll always be able to get more. We will always be able to have some on the website, but if you do want these, then I would stock up because they're always in demand. I still have a lot of people who ask about having our rainbow colour bundles. They're beautiful, aren't they? So, 3.5 metres. Why? 3.5 metres. 1, 2, 3.5 metres. Can I just say, Kat was just concerned because yesterday I went on to Sister Channel Jewelry Maker in the afternoon. Kat just said to me, "Are you on Jewelry Maker?" That's why I just said, "Why?" And she went, "Oh, I'm just wondering because I'm really tired." It's like, you don't have to do it. I feel like you live it through me. You don't need to worry. I'm not doing, no, I'm not over there today. Oh, you can rest now, Kat. You can rest easy. No, you're going to wait up for me. Oh. Right, so you got 1/2 metre of your green, 1/2 metre of purple, 1/2 metre of pink, 1/2 metre blue. Obviously all the colours of the rainbow. Yellow, red and orange. It was my fault I didn't put them in order, and I did actually have this thought process. Thanks to the viewer who messaged in explaining the colour order of it though, isn't it? Richard of York gave battle in vain. There you go. Or what's the other one? The rain in Spain. No, that's not the rain in Spain. It falls mainly on the plain. It's not to do with the rainbow colours, is it? Red sky. No, that doesn't work either. Just 23.99. You're making me really confused. Oh, I don't know what's happening today. I think there might be a storm coming. No, there's not a storm coming. We've got scorching sun, heat wave coming, haven't we? Bearing in mind, we're starting Christmas, Christmas jumpers, really warm projects on Friday. Hottest day, 32 degrees. 32 now it's gone up to in the Midlands. We're all very excited about this heat wave, can you tell? Kat's already, oh no, your neighbour's read to you the full weather forecast for the week. We're all excited, aren't we? £23.99. This is your plains. Now, there is a mixer bundle, which is different. We'll do that next, but I will show you the difference because sometimes online you can't see the colours. Oh, I'm missing one. Missing two, in fact. So let me just show you the difference on the overhead so you can see. Can you see from there that this has got, this has got like that lovely texture. Sorry to doubt you there, Kat. Can you see it? Probably not. No offence, Kat, no. So you've got, that's your biggest fear, isn't it? So you've got 1/2 metre of yellow, 1/2 metre of blue, 1/2 metre of pink. I think my newest fear is going to be the green button, the new telly feature, Touch TV. So you've got this lovely bright yellow with that mottle effect. The blue again. See, we always think about, the designer fabrics that we're using. If you're mixing it in with maybe, your Allison glass, this is going to make your designer fabric go a lot further. It's really affordable, but it's still adding interest. It's not that solid colour. Because it's got this beautiful texture. I must say, it's not a texture to the touch. It's almost like a texture to the eyes. Don't worry, you don't need to reach in and touch it. It's just to the eye, texture to the eye. This would be lovely with your barley pops, actually. This would look really, really nice with the barley pops. 1/2 metre of yellow, 1/2 metre of blue. You've got 1/2 metre of pink, and this is like a lovely orange. This is like the colour orange that Hannah has got a bit obsessed with during lockdown. She bought a lot of expensive orange paint, and it's more like this. So the orange that you get in your main bundle, can you see the difference? That's a very sort of orange, where this is softer because it's got the mottle. It looks lovely around Hannah's house. She painted some old lockers up in this colour and they look awesome. And she also dyed a lot of cushions this colour, didn't you? Put them in the wash, they'd look lovely. Got into that, they'd look really nice. You've got your green and you've got your purple. Now there's only one of those remaining. Only one of those mixer bundles remaining. Oh, might as well move on. need to come and show everybody then. Kat saying she had her nails done especially for today's show. I can move over the side if you'd love to come and show your nails. Because they are very telly ready. I think they are going to make it famous on Instagram, aren't they? Maybe you could put them on the Sewing Street fan page. Why don't you post that instead of coming on the telly? She's a bit shy now, even though she just keeps saying, I've done these especially for today's show, for the rainbow show. The quilt that we had yesterday, did you see it? Now, I know it looked beautiful on air yesterday and lots of people said how gorgeous it looks, but Wendy's just seen it and she said, it looks so much better in real life again. She says, I loved that quilt and I bought it out. She says, oh my word, it just doesn't do it justice on telly. It's gorgeous. Right, so let me open this out so you can see. Those of you that met Sally Ann yesterday, it was her first show actually here in the studio. It was so good to see her and she's a brilliant teacher. But look at this. It is gorgeous. Now this is made up in solids and we've actually added a bit of interest by using Allison glass as well. So just so you can see how cool this is, your rainbows of colour. The show is on YouTube. Sally Ann also suggested, now in the bundle, there was only one kit and we did it with the white, like you can see here. I love the quilting on that. Couldn't quite see it, you know, when it was on the wall, but you've got all of this lovely, straight, lots of quilting. Don't need to quilt it as much as this. You could do crosshatch. You could do quite straight quilting. You could do quilting like this. You could do free motion. You've got a lot of space, remember, on your white. So you could do some real big quilting on there. Anyway, let me show you what you get in your kit, because this is a pattern that we've seen only, I think, the designer once before. I think it's Louise, is it, who designed this? She's a lady from Oxford, Lou. 1 second. You have, here we go, 3 meters. So you've got 3 meters of white. Now, if you do want to substitute, well, you can't substitute it. You will get this in your bundle. But what I'm thinking, if you do want to add it with a black background, it will look amazing with that with a real dramatic black background, or a grey. We've got loads of different colours online, and you're always going to use your white fabric anyway that comes with it. So just have a think about how you want it to look. Looks great in the white. You get 3 meters of white. We've also then pre-cut. We've cut these in-house, especially for this design. 15 Allison glass and solid fat quarters. So some of them, obviously, a lot of them are these designer prints, and actually, even though you think, oh, some of these triangles are probably too small to see it, you do. They're bigger than you sort of think. So you still will see lots of these beautiful patterns from Allison glass. So you get all of these 15 fat quarters. You get some solids in there as well. Sally Ann was fantastic at demoing yesterday, and she talked about getting very, very organised. But it's actually just simply one 4-inch block that's repeated and repeated and repeated with different ways. There's not 2 that are the same. So they're all different. You can't sort of cheat and chain piece. I say cheat, you can't do it quickly in chain piece. It is all 4-inch by 4-inch square, but it comes together so beautifully and you get this amazing rainbow effect. So you get all of your rainbow colours from Allison glass with your solids in there as well. And then you also get Lou's patterns. This is Lou Orth, who's actually from Oxford. It looks quite, I know that the modern, these really modern block colour quilts look very contemporary, don't they? I do love them. So the finished size of the quilt is 60-inch square. Need to make yourself a little key to coordinate with the Allison glass, but they are virtually the same sort of colours that you'll see in the instructions. So they've named them all these different colours. You just make yourself a little key. It's £69.99. All your instructions are in there, very, very clear. This layout diagram was very useful yesterday. All I would suggest that if you are swapping out your white and you're going to get some black fabric, you need 3 meters of black fabric, and then I would swap these ones that are in black for whites. They look amazing in black as well. Get creative. It looks so cool, doesn't it? We were saying, do you know when your eyes almost want to try and make something, make it into some sort of shape? It's just really cool. I love it. So that was on yesterday if you want to watch it back on YouTube. In fact, if you missed the show, we're going to repeat it at 11 o'clock. That hour will be repeated at 11. Brilliant. I love it. We've also got rainbow hexy panel. This has got 60 coordinating hexes. 60 coordinating hexes, all beautiful colours, all different prints. Just £7.99. Han and Kat, you're both EPP experts. What size cards do I need? No, don't ask me. Right, Kat, you can work it out. They're 2.5-inch hexes. Go for a 1-inch. Well, they make 1-inch hexes if you use 1-inch cards, then you'll have enough sort of seam allowance to go around. Because when they say 2.5 inches, I think that's this measurement. The sides. That's 2.5 inches, 2.5 inches, 2.5 inches. Don't doubt me, Kat. I'll get a tape measure. She say, I say so. Hang on. She says I can try and find her. I'm scared of this ruler display. Here we go. It does tend to jump off the table sometimes. So, sorry, I've put on the biggest ruler that I can find. Oh no, they're 1-inch sides, aren't they? So they're 2.5 inches from side to side. The reason that I say this is because sometimes, so point to point, sometimes when you do buy the hexes, that's how they measure them, isn't it? So yeah, there you go. So you'll need a 1-inch hexie. So your 1-inch hexie will sit in the centre there. 60 oh, sorry, I made that very difficult for us all, didn't I? 1-inch hexes, loads of colours that coordinate to each other beautifully. We've also got the same sort of colours in the stripes, in the strips. I just love all these rainbow colours. They're just lovely, aren't they? I think especially at the moment, we all need these nice bright colours in our projects. This is lovely. Right, it's the big panel. This time, you've got 7 coordinating fabric stripes. Now, it's extra wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 different strips. 140 wide. It's only £12.99. That is good. 140 wide, remember, so they're extra wide. Gorgeous colours. So if you just want to start cutting strips into this, maybe doing some stripy binding, hello, that would look nice. You don't need to pin tuck between them. You could just get going. You can cut between them, obviously. Just £12.99, 140 wide. This is your rainbow strips. Or if you do just want to make your barley pops go a bit further, why not use these? They're 2.5 inches wide. So those of you that have got any Pam and Nikki Lintop books or loads of quilt patterns, call for 2.5-inch strips. Of course, you can subcut them. There's so much that you can do with these panels. They are brilliant value for money for how much fabric you're getting. Okay. I've got another stripe one, which is in the linear. It is going to the same price point as well. So if you do agree, that is brilliant value for money. I do agree, I hear you say. Here's the other one. So they're slightly sort of smaller than the big rainbow panel. We do have the big rainbow panel as well, but if you just want to dip your toe in maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colours. And they are your colours of the rainbow. Richard of York gave battle in vain. There you go. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. Red sky in the morning, shepherd's warning. Sorry, if you're just tuning in, yes, we are all a bit bonkers here. We're just giving you all the warnings, all the weather warnings. £12.99 and they're 140 wide. Look, can you see it going off the workbench? Look. Look, not lying. Oh dear. I think we all need to go home. I'm now relieved. I now get why you said, oh, are you a jewellery maker this afternoon? Oh, I'm relieved. I'm relieved you get to go home after this. £12.99. What is that? So the customers, did you say? I thought I heard you say that, Kat. Honestly, I want to do some sort of documentary of what goes on in my ear, so then you will understand what I have to deal with in my head. Okay, should we do the big rainbow panel? Oh, this is fab. And honestly, I've seen so many people who have teamed it with the batiks and they look brilliant on bag making, on all sorts of applique. You can pin tuck between them and make bolster cushions. You could just use your blues for a project. You don't need to use it as rainbow. Don't think, oh, it has to be a rainbow design. It doesn't. This is just brilliant for loads of stash, but also for binding. This is like your design roll, really, isn't it? Your jelly roll. You've got a special price point that we followed through with this one. And remember, normally these size panels are $19.99. So today, under $15 while stocks last. Gorgeous ombre of your blues, ombre into your greens, ombre of your yellows into those sunset reds. All for just £14.99, and they're 140 wide. Extra wide, gorgeous quality. The detail as well, you've got a little spot on each of these. I love that you've got that little spot in between. You know, it's not a stark, it isn't just a solid colour. And I've seen Debbie pin tucking between these and doing, oh, we're spinning. Oh gosh, this is how I felt last Saturday night. Oh, gosh. Oh no, you're making me dizzy. I feel like I'm on a carousel. I don't like spinny rides. Do you? I think you sort of get to an age where you're like, I used to love rides and roller coasters. And last year we had like a fairground that came to our little town. I say little town where we live. And they said, come on, let's go on the waltzers. Oh my word, it was the worst decision I've ever made in my life. Never felt so sick. It was horrible. Waltzers, teacups. The teacups have got so much faster. They really have. You like the feeling of feeling sick. Spinning around like that. No wonder she was just going for it then with the overhead camera. She enjoyed that. £14.99. I'm so sorry. Everybody at home was then falling off the sofa, spinning around with me. Dear me. £14.99. Have a ginger biscuit. That helps. £14.99. Kat, did you just say I want to go home? £14.99 for all of these 2.5-inch strips. Just so you know, the mixer bundle is now sold out. We have got availability on the solids and we've got availability still on the rainbow panel, so don't worry. Okay. We've also got, oh no, they're not all the panels. We've got one more panel, which is your charm square. These are all exclusive to us. How lucky are we to be able to have all of these exclusive, beautiful colours. And I just think, you know, it's difficult. We talk about putting colours together. We were talking about it with our foundation paper piecing, or if you're starting to put together your own blocks and your own pieces. It's hard to know what works, whereas this, just works so well. They look beautiful together. If you've got any of the charm square or scrap books, then you'll see lots of projects that are using your 5-inch charm squares. And I suppose you don't need to see it as a charm square panel. You could just simply sew together 4, or you could just make it look like you've almost pieced them together, pin tuck in between them. Look lovely, or pleat between them. 140 wide, coordinating colours, and all with different details. So some have got spots, some have got zigzags, you've got stripes on there. And I like that you've got the reverse as well. So you've got the white spots on blue, and then you've got the blue spots on blue. You've got the zigzags, you've got the sort of linen texture look. They're really beautiful. Just £14.99, and that is your fabric panel. Oh no, she's spinning again. She's getting a bit confident with the overhead camera. The producer's told you now. It's a bit much, all that spinning. Okay. Shall we do this? This is the first time I've seen this. So it has been on before, but every single time that Hannah's come in to air it, it's sold out on the website. So I don't actually know when this has been on air. This is brilliant. I'm thinking for dressmaking, you could put it on like, you have it as like dungaree straps. You could have it obviously as bag straps, but it is a rainbow webbing. First time I've ever seen it. And I think this is brilliant for all sorts. I love that, do you? Look at those gorgeous colours. Great quality as well. It's sold in metre pre-cut pieces. So what I'm holding is a metre. I'm thinking of making things like, you know, like luggage straps. You could make things like, well, obviously your bag handles. You could use them for straps on dresses or clothes or dungarees. You could use them to embellish like denim jackets. What about on like cuffs of denim jackets or on clothes or on sort of necklines? They look amazing. Loads you can do with this. And a whole metre is £2.99. Whole metre, £2.99. Thinking a big beach bag and using this as the handles. They're great, aren't they? Make it quite a statement. Love it. Just £2.99, a whole metre of your rainbow. You just can't go wrong, can you? Rainbow of webbing. So if you are thinking of doing it for straps or bags, if you're anything like me, I definitely put way too much in my bag. Although I did think when Wendy Orlando turned up this morning and she was getting all her frying pans out, I thought, oh no, you've top trumped me. Don't have frying pans in my bag today. But I do have lots in my bag. But you need nice sturdy straps, don't you, if you're carrying your frying pans around with you. Or you're carrying lots in your bag. Just £2.99 for a metre piece. Okay. Great price. Let's do some skeins. Oh, look, we've still got our frying pans. We obviously keep our skeins in there, as you do. So I've got 36 of the rainbow colour and then more of your pastel-y ones. So we've got pastels and we've got brights. So that's this one. All of these colours, turn it around, then you can see you've got loads. And in fact, there's even a layer in between that you can't quite see, but there's loads in there. You know, like those really fancy, gorgeous chocolate boxes where there's just layers and layers. You've got 36, great quality. I mean, please remember, look, at £9.99, I think this is a great chance to really stock up your stash. If you're embellishing on any patterned fabric, if you're wanting to try out hand embroidery, then I'd get these, absolutely. You might then say, oh, I'm going to try some more expensive skeins, or I'm going to get some different skeins out there, but as a place to start, that is such a brilliant price, isn't it? And such an array of colours as well. For £9.99, what does that make our price per skein? Oh yeah, just buy them, 27 pence a skein. 27 pence a skein. You've got a whole mixture, beautiful bright colours, but also some neutrals in there. Not all just, you know, bold, bright neon colours. You've got lovely tans and browns and corals and greens and creams and greys. Just £9.99. That's classed as bright. We also have the lovely sort of candy colours. These are called pastel. Oh, these are really pretty. You've got some beautiful blues, some baby pinks. You've got your whites. You've still got black in there. You've still got greys. You've still got greens, coral. But there's some lovely, lovely tonally complementing colours. £9.99, and that's for 36 of your stranded cotton. 100% cotton. 8 metres on each skein. 36 skeins in total. So that is a lot for your money. That is a lot of hand stitching, a lot of hand embroidery. Thinking things like if you do toy making, doing embellishing faces, doing eyes and doing lips and cheeks and things like that would be lovely in these colours. £9.99. I've not seen this one. This is new to me. The hopscotch kit. There's only 4 of these left in oh, this was from, I do remember, who did this? It's Allison Marion, isn't it? This is Allison Marion, and it is your hopscotch kit. Now, we're literally so limited on this one now. You've got your rainbow quilt. Hopscotch quilt as you go. I haven't done a hopscotch for ages, have you? I haven't really thought about it for ages. John didn't know what hopscotch was. I suppose, yeah. Yeah, he grew up in South Africa, didn't he? So you got your hopscotch instructions. I wonder if they had like a equivalent that's a different name. So look, oh brilliant! This is exclusive to us. We've not done a panel like this before. Look at this! Look at this! Oh, I tell you what, whether you make the hopscotch or you make, there's so much that you're going to make with this. I'd multi-buy in this kit because yeah, you can do your hopscotch, but then you can also do, loads. All numbered storage boxes or birthday things. I love the stripy background as well, that rainbow stripe background. It's so beautiful. The quality of the printing is fab. Look at how striking the colours are. So you've got all of your panel. It goes all the way up to 10, 8, 9, and there's 10. And then you've also got extra stripes. $29.99 for a whole quilt. That's so good, isn't it? Your hopscotch quilt playmat. All of your instructions from Allison are in there. Obviously, you can watch back on YouTube. And then you're also getting ½ a metre of your green. Exclusive to us, £29.99. I've not met Allison yet. She's so lovely, isn't she? I've been watching her. I feel like I know her. But no, I haven't been on with her yet, so I'm excited to meet her. Okay. Right, shall we do? We've literally got 15 minutes. We've got some wonder clips. Now, there's not 50 in this pack, but you'll definitely get 50. They're very well loved here. They're very well used in the studio. Oh gosh, I really tried hard then to try and fold that nicely. I'll do it after the show. We've got wonder clips. Very, very useful indeed. Bag makers, quilters, if you're using these for your binding. Anywhere that you can't or don't want to pin. I'm thinking if you're working with bags and you're doing PU, you don't want to put a pin through it. These are, by the way, the official Clover Wonder Clips. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that you may have tried cheaper alternatives that just don't last the test of time. I know that John Cole Morgan buys these in bulk for his binding. You get 50 in the pack. They're all great different colours. The amount of times you probably left pins in bags and things, whereas these obviously nice and bright colours, you're always going to spot them. Sally Ann Harrison actually used these yesterday to get herself organised at the start of the show with her pieces and her paper. They're all numbered and she came in with them all there ready to go. So if you are even using them you to organise yourself before you start sewing, but it is very, very quick to just whip out a clip, especially if you're working with bulkier fabrics. Look, they open really, really nice and wide. Sometimes if you are trying to pin lots of bulky fabric or lots of layers together, it can shimmy about, whereas that, easy to put in and easy to take out of the sewing machine. Just £28.99, and these are your official Clover Wonder Clips, so they're brilliant quality. There's also markings on the bottom, so if you are, being quite precise with your markings, you can also use those as a guide. And they come in a nice little pot, nice little storage tub. Very, very useful. We've seen over the times so many people doing different ways of using their wonder clips, even down to rolling down their toothpaste and putting a wonder clip on it. So they will become really useful around the house as well. We've got a few more pieces. I've got a smaller packet of 10. Let's use our imaginations. Smaller pack. Oh no, you did have them in the last hour. I've definitely seen them. I can't think where I've seen them. There is a small packet of 10. It comes on a card. It doesn't come in a box, but it comes on a card. So if you just want to try them out, on the web shop, £7.99, just a pack of 10. They probably are on here somewhere, but we are a bit all packed, aren't we? I've got the Gutermann threads and measuring tape. So the price per spool on this is brilliant, and you're getting virtually like getting your measuring tape for free. It's £17.99 and you're getting great bright colours, all 100 metre spools. These are your 50 weight spools, so they're sort of your, so all, you're getting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 spools, 100 metres on each, 50 weight. We're at £179. Plus, then remember, you've got your yeah, it's always handy to have more than one tape measure, isn't it? Never have too many. I don't know about you, but does yours go as walkies as many times as ours does? It's always literally like, walkies. Oh, sorry, anyone who's got a dog. I've literally just caused chaos in your living room now, haven't I? I'm so sorry. But yeah, whenever we, say that W, we used to always say this when we used to have a dog, Max. My grandparents used to say, we're going for a W-A-L-K. Could never say that word out loud because he would just get so excited. Oh, $17.99 for your Gutermann. Remember, as Wendy actually said, a tip of hers, always use great quality thread. You'll see such a difference with your sewing and you'll feel such a difference with your machine. It is Gutermann, which is beautiful quality polyester thread and an array of great colours there. Nice gift actually, isn't it? $17.99. Yes. Wendy used this earlier on, didn't she? She used it just as a ruler, and I think sometimes I actually forget that because it's really lovely and sort of thick acrylic. You can obviously just use it to go across your blocks and use it as a normal ruler, but also I'm going to put the fabric underneath it so you can see the markings. We don't normally get a chance to spend as much time on this, and I think it's a really great addition to your ordinary stripology ruler. If you've got the extra large or if you've got the original stripology ruler, then this isn't one that I would sort of dismiss. I wouldn't say, oh, well, I've got a stripology, so I'm not thinking about this one. Because quite often, once you've done those initial cuts, you're working with smaller blocks, you're working with smaller pieces. So this is great to square up to 6.5-inch blocks. But also, it's great to do more intricate cuts. So as you're getting smaller and smaller, they might say, right, your triangle needs to be your strip needs to be 1 3/8. So they've got these dashed lines to the side of your 0 slot with 1/8 of an inch marking and 3/8 of an inch marking. They still have all of the, the key that they have on the larger one, still have the non-slip grips between each of the slots. It's going to give you great precision, great accuracy, and every 1/2 inch you've got a cut. So even if I spin it round, it's still obviously every 1/2 inch I've got a cut, but they're giving you different measurements. So if you line that up then with 0, you can very quickly and accurately cut 3/4 of an inch. 1 1/3 of an inch without having to do any of the maths. I love the fact that they make life nice and easy for us. You can see it's still able to glide and move around your ruler, but because obviously it's got this non-slip grip that's built in, can you hear it? It's like a frosted built-in grip that as soon as then you press down, it will then adhere to the fabric and give you great accuracy, precision, but also we're working with a rotary blade. You want that safety as well. Not only, of course, when we're thinking priorities, we don't want to slash our fabric, but also we have to think of safety. So they've thought of everything. I've spoken to quite a few people who have got both stripologies and they say, do you know what, there's a time and a place for both. This is as valuable to them as the larger one because you are going to be able to do lots of your smaller pieces. And if you want to then do all your main cutting at home, take this to your workshops or take this along wherever you're sewing, maybe on holiday. It's less cumbersome. You're not lugging around a larger ruler on your fabric or in the car and wherever you're going. So it is nice to be able to have the smaller one, but still with the quality and markings. Just because it's smaller, it doesn't make it any less useful. Okay. Is there anything else that I can talk to you about? Don't forget to check out on the machine, by the way. We are really, really limited on it. I will just give you a quick rundown on that one in just a second. But first of all, tomorrow's show is going to be brilliant. I'm really excited again to work with Kerry. She is absolutely lovely, one for a better word. She is living in loveliness with Kerry, and we've got Grandma's Spool Cushion. Very excited about that at 8 o'clock tomorrow. At 9, we've got more fabrics to stock up your stash. At 10 o'clock, we've got Fabulous Fast Fat Quarter Fun. Oh, that's a mouthful, with Kerry. Fabulous Fast Quarter Fun. That is another tongue twister, isn't it? At 11 o'clock. We're going to be giving you a bit of a lowdown on some of our other sewing machines that we've got available. This is what I love about Sewing Street and our show is that, look, we're not telling you this is the machine you need to buy. It's not the only machine that we stock, but depending on whatever sort of part of your journey you're on. I know so many people who would benefit from having the different features and functions that you get from this Elna machine. There are also a lot of sewers who I know that might have one of the highest spec Elna machines or one of the other brands of machine, but want this as a second machine. Because you don't want to just get yourself an entry level. You're used to the different features and functions like your thread cutter and your amount of stitches that you've got. But you might want to sew in a different room or in a different location, and you've got a fixed sewing space where your big heavy machine is. This is really lovely and robust still, but easy to still lift and move around and store away. It has got that handle on there. So 380 stitches. Today is £599. 380 stitches with an alphabet, with a thread cutter, and with today's bundle. So you're getting your bobbins, your snips, your fabrics, all included in today's price. And I would seriously have a think about having a look elsewhere. I'm urging you to. We found it for £699. Here, it's £100 more affordable, which I think is brilliant. And it comes with a 2-year warranty from Elna. They have an amazing customer service team that's based in the UK, and their instruction manual is really thorough. It's really user-friendly. The machine itself is really user-friendly. Lots of our guests, as Wendy Orlando came in today and said, never even seen this machine before, and she was just loving it. She said it's really, really easy to navigate around and does the job perfectly. So, if you haven't already checked out on it, we have got less than 10, so have a serious think about it, but don't wait too long because the deal's only available whilst stocks last. We have got a machine show tomorrow if you do want to tune in and see that. Coming up though, you've got an hour to see, I've put the quilt down somewhere. Sally Ann Harrison is going to be making this quilt. If you missed it yesterday, if you missed that fraction quilt yesterday, it's beautiful. It's this way around. It's absolutely beautiful. It's really modern, really contemporary, and it's going, well, it's a brilliant price for the kit, $69.99, and you get 3 meters of white fabric, all your Allison glass, 15 pre-cut, cut in house, back quarters, designer fabric, and your instructions for $69.99. So you can watch that on the repeat right now. I'm back with Kerry tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Thank you for your company. I think that's everything, isn't it? Yeah, we will see you then.